people make jokes about spacing somebody, about shoving somebody out an airlock. I don't think it's funny.
Let's clap for diversity. Thank you. Let's clap for diversity.
George has been very clever in tying up all the ends, and I think in terms of matching up 3 to lead on to 4, it's completely taken care of. 3 to lead on to 4, it's completely taken care of. 3 to lead on to 4, 3 to lead on to 4, it's completely taken care of.
And I'm here. How's it going, everyone? It's Friday night. This is The Spacing. And I am Tim from Open-Airlock Policy. I am the culture war realist. I'm a rational individualist. I'm the expanded universe absolutist. I am the alpha with nostalgia. I know the lore to the core. I've got the hot takes for the bot fakes. And I'm never a victim. What's going on, everyone? It's the first day of Star Wars Shillebration. It's the first day of Fauxbi-Wan Kenobi. If you missed it, Raging Rhino and Greg, aka Tuscan Bob, broke it all down. We're not exactly going to do that on this stream, but we are going to expose it for the fake Star Wars that it is, for sure. How's it going, everyone? It's been a really long week, even though I didn't work Monday. Hell, a long fucking week. Worked a couple of 12 hours at the office and at the house. So we're going to have some fun tonight. I'll bring in my guests later and we'll rock and roll. But let's see who we've got here so far. We've got Dan Blackroyd, a.k.a. Blake, St. Clair, Liquid Blake, the best Star Wars ever. Are you talking about my video earlier today? My Obi-Wan Spirit video? Yes, if so, I totally agree. We've got the Jedi Riffster, the Guitar Man, member in the house. We've got Tehelim29 in the house. We've got Melissa Lord, the first ever member of the channel, saying the SJW droid in Solo was my most hated character. But move over Jar Jar, now we have a new winner for number 2, Reva. The character is dog shit, and I could have told you that months ago, weeks ago, whenever I saw a picture. I could just tell. The Sentinel is in the house. The mental gymnastics some people are making to justify why Kenobi is good have lost their minds. Thanks for being here, Sent. Neo Valentine is in the house. What's going on? Let's burn that book. Send it to me so we can burn it. Mohai Master, a Knight of Melvin, is in the house. We've got Tuscan Bob in the house with the custom emojis. Definitely become a member of the channel if you want to use those. And then for a $9.99 super chat, we have Star Wars Mansplained, another Knight of Melvin, and one of the greatest screen names out there, one of the greatest handles out there. Tell everyone what's up, my man. Well, I'm telling everyone what's up for you. Hope you can stick around for the rest of the stream because it's going to be a great one. We've got OG Star Wars, member of the channel, friend of the channel in the house, saying, hey, everyone. Yeah, the Knights are everywhere. The Knights are everywhere. There are more than 4 on the board, for sure. Raging Rhino, the aforementioned Raging Rhino in the house, saying, g'day, mate. We have got... It jumped on me. We've got... Small Time Republic with the pillars in the house. Winky Wanky Woo in the house saying, what's up? What's up? If you really want me to do that, send a super chat and I will. We've got... Thought I missed someone. I don't want to miss anyone. Because that would be toxic. The Fractured Filter is in the house. Expanded Universe Man. And for some reason, in StreamYard, it's not showing me all the way to the bottom. Like my post a comment field is covering up the most recent comment. It seems like StreamYard, in line with every other piece of technology, is regressing. My video creation software is regressing. There are bugs in it now. It used to be almost perfect. Pisses me off. I think we covered everyone. As always, people will continue to filter in. But yeah, we have a lot to cover. Probably not going to be able to cover it all. There's some pretty important stuff that we want to talk about in relation to Obi-Wan Kenobi, to Fauxbi-Wan Kenobi, and to Shillebration. Because that clip you saw at the beginning, if you didn't know, that is Justina Ireland. Justina, White Nonsense Never Sleeps Ireland, in the house. And I found that on a guy's account on Twitter, Dave the Metal, at Dave the Dirty 73. He had that clip, so shout out to him, whoever he is. But let's take a look at that again really quick. So Justina Ireland today on stage.
Thank you. Let's clap for diversity.
Amazing. And don't forget that that's an echo chamber crowd there. The people that go to those, that go to the High Republic or whatever panels, they are there for a reason. They know what they're in for. So it's not a general audience that's clapping for that. That's probably pretty much almost every other person in the world not in that room that wouldn't be clapping. So keep that in mind. Keely Chow is in the house. Brobafett, Northern California brother, in the house. Yeah, she's a racist. Christina Ariel, actions in line with a racist, for sure. I made videos on that. Everyone has. It's bullshit. Dark Souls 2 Family Guy Broly. Hi, I just found the channel. Awesome. Well, make sure that you hit subscribe and stay for the rest of the show, because we are going to have some fucking fun. You know who she sounded like there? She was channeling Hillary Clinton almost. I've got hot sauce in my purse. Clap for that. I've got hot sauce in my purse. That's exactly what it sounded like. Danielle Ponce in the house. She forgot to mention dinosaurs. Yeah, I cut that part out because it was stupid. She said, and dinosaurs, and then you had Danielle Jose Oder saying, yeah, dinosaurs, her. It's the kindergarten crew up there, guys. Benzo is in the house. Hello. Jorge is in the house. She could only identify with Lando because, yeah, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that for sure. Once I have my esteemed panel in the house. Because I don't want to talk about that all by myself, for sure. Yeah. Nothing's going to make certain people more likable. That's for sure. The real Lando is the GOAT. I would totally agree. And make sure you capitalize those letters. First time I ever heard that term was LL Cool J's album title. I think it was like, 90... I don't know, maybe 98, 99, 2000. I don't know. But he was the GOAT. And he had the periods between each letter. Greatest of all time. Anyway, thanks for being here, everyone. Yeah, lots and lots of fun stuff to talk about. So, and I really want to find some time to look at some YouTube comments. We always say we're going to do that, and we never do, because there are some really freaking stupid comments that we get. Just some unbelievable ones. But let's go ahead and get into this here. Yep. This is the biggest one right here. This is the original article. It's an IndieWire one. Lucasfilm warned Obi-Wan Star Wars. Lucasfilm warned Obi-Wan star Moses Ingram about racist Star Wars hate. It will likely happen. If you've got talking droids and aliens, but no people of color, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, we can read the whole thing or go through it, but that headline says it all. That tells you what they think of fans, because they actually use that term if you keep on reading the article. It tells you what they think of people. It tells you their tactic it's really a strategy more than a tactic to preemptively cast people that would criticize the show as racist. They probably saw her performance and said, wow, that was really bad. It's cringy. Too late to go back and reshoot it. So what are we going to do here, guys? That's it. Preemptively race bait. That's what we're going to do. And in real life, we've seen some of these interviews, ghetto as hell. I mean, she's, just ghetto as hell. Lucasfilm, and plus, this article goes into some other shit that pisses me off. Lucasfilm is aware of the dark side of Star Wars fandom after John Boyega and Kelly Marie Tran received racist fan harassment linked to another article following their respective roles in the recent Skywalker trilogy. The production company behind the franchise is bracing for backlash over POC stars. So number one, when you're a writer, you do not use acronyms unless you've defined them at least once. I don't see POC defined anywhere. So what you do is you spell that out, you write it out. In this case, I think we know what she means, person of color, people of color. Then in parentheses, you put POC. From there on out, you can abbreviate it. This is shit writing, but it's IndieWire, so what do you expect? Moses Ingram, who plays a villainous inquisitor in upcoming Disney Plus series Obi-Wan Kenobi, hunting the Jedi trainer Ewan McGregor, Jedi trainer. Yeah, that's his new title. I went from Jedi Master to Jedi Trainer. Revealed that Lucasfilm was proactive in media training ahead of the series premiering May 27th. They were proactive. They were preemptive is what it was. Like I said, preemptively criticizing, preemptively vilifying anyone that would criticize this show. And the show is worthy of criticism from multiple attack angles. It was something that Lucasfilm actually got in front of and said, this is a thing that unfortunately likely will happen, but we are here to help you and you can let us know when it happens. Now, here's what's hilarious. It likely will happen. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be the minority out there, no pun intended. There's going to be very few people that will make racist comments and reach out and do stuff. And hey, it's going to happen to anyone. Like, you should see some of the messages I get because people don't like the fact that I criticize Dave Filoni. None of them are really racist in nature. I can't really remember whether or not, but the point is, you're going to get some really bad messages when you're putting yourself out there, right? Because some jerk out there is going to do that. But safe plane landings are not news. So the fact that 98% of the fandom is not doing that doesn't matter. It's the fact just a few of them do, because Christina Ariel did that after she went out and made those comments a couple of years ago. She said, today has not been great. And then screenshots of a couple of messages, whatever. It's going to happen. Like I said, we get them. I'm sure Laura gets them because she goes out there and she has some really intense back and forth with people. I really don't have time to do that, so it doesn't happen to me. But on YouTube videos, oh my gosh, I get really bad ones. So it's pretty hilarious that they're just saying that it likely will happen after they saw the footage all clipped together of her performance, which I've seen a few pieces of it today on Raging Rhino stream. Colossally awful. Like, I don't know how they allowed that to happen after the audition, after the casting couch. Probably with a woman doing the casting. Let's see here. Bounding's in the house. What's going on, John, or whoever's controlling the account tonight? Welcome. Let me scroll back up here and see what you guys are saying. No people of color. Stars, she can't act. Yeah, we covered that. She went to Yale. I don't care where you went. Like, the thing is, college, university is not that hard if you apply yourself. If you can't, look, the current president of the United States got through it. Guys at the bottom of his class, but he got through it. So anyone can. I'm never impressed with, I don't care if you went to Harvard, Stanford, wherever the hell it is. If you apply yourself, you can get C's and make through it. That's all there is to it. If fans truly hated people of color, how come they enjoy Mace Windu Rivian Lando? Yeah, that's exactly right. Real characters. They don't, and that's what's so frustrating about this. It's what's so disgusting about this. The fact that they're going out there and vilifying fans, ad hominem attacks on fans for criticizing what needs to be criticized. And hey, everything needs to be criticized. Criticize the original trilogy. Criticize the prequels, whatever. And then oppose those arguments with facts, with counter arguments, using logic, not by vilifying, not by ad homing the critics. And that's what they're doing. Apollo Patriot. I haven't heard from that guy in a long time. I think he got monetized and stuff, so good for him. Bacon is in the house. Says not only does her character suck, she's not a good actor either. Yeah, like I said, from what I've seen this morning on Rhino's stream, colossally awful. Just how did that happen? Yeah, and they do it at work, like where I work, and we've had projects over the years because I've been there almost 25 years, and the same ones will get used, and then some of the old schoolers like me are like, wait a minute, you first you think of the old one. It's like, define it. And these are like corporate communications people that don't even know that rule. It's like, go back to school, you dweebs. Oh yeah, from the clips I've seen. And then we're going to look, the main comments we're going to look at later from YouTube are to the Inquisitor short, because I'm still getting them. Obviously in the last couple of days, it's really picked up. So we'll address some of that. But yeah, they all looked bad. Like the lampshade head guy, his lines were terrible. I don't know if the other chick said anything, but yeah, just really cheesy and lame. Inquisitors. What's up, John? John F. Trent in the house. Jacob Kennedy's here. What's going on? Well, if you want to go out and enjoy that, that's great. But they are owned by one of the companies that's destroying one of the franchises I love. So for now, not going to see it. I can watch something else this weekend. For sure. John says those characters didn't exist. The Kenobi show was the first time Star Wars has had diversity. Yeah. And it's not just in the visual format. They took the expanded universe, discarded it on 42514. And you can say, oh, it doesn't count, but it does count, because look at all the characters, not just in the written form, but in comics. Like, how many diverse characters were there? Black characters of many skin tones. I mean, And that's not the reason we like the books and the comics, but the fact that it's there and it was natural, that's what matters. It wasn't forced diversity, as we call it, no pun intended. So Melissa says Riva, aka dog shit, pulls a Kylo from 8, and I don't even consider it 8. To me, it's Last Jedi, because if to call it 8 means it's part of the actual saga, and it's not. And kills her boss. Who the fuck thought that was a good idea? Probably Pablo Escobar and Filoni. I don't think Pablo and them on the story group had any input, to be quite frank. I think they are marginalized, and some of the comments he's made, the cynical ones on social media, kind of bears that out. I think he's just there to troll and collect his paycheck at this point. Now that's bad right there. Sabretooth from Origins. Whew. Speaking of which, I was watching I'm doing a rewatch of 1993 wrestling. I'll watch this week, the Raw show versus the WCW Saturday Night show. And then I'm watching and they announce a guy and I'm like, that sounds familiar. Big Sky. And I look and I'm like, he looks familiar. And I'm like, oh, that's it. It's Sabretooth from the first X-Men movie. So whatever the hell his name is, he was Big Sky in WCW. Pretty much a jobber, but he was a huge guy. So they had to let him get some offense in. So it was kind of one of those awkward situations because they knew they were never really going to push him. Anyway, not a wrestling stream. That's a hilarious thought. Hilarious question, I should say, because I'm not going to watch it. I knew what was going to happen going into it. We've been talking since last fall about the rematch of the century and how we knew it was going to happen and how it breaks lore. Even if you've only seen from a high level the movies and stuff, it breaks lore. It doesn't make any sense. And they're going to do it just for the nostalgia bait and just to attract people who want to see shiny objects and get moments. So not going to watch it. I know what's happening in it. Read a recap this morning in about 15 minutes on Wikipedia, and it was a pretty detailed one. They probably stole it from a website's article or something, but sounds terrible and hilarious and fallacious and all that stuff. But going into it, we knew it would break lore. We know it's Disney Star Wars, so don't care. But we're going to criticize the real world stuff. We'll get back to this article in a second here. Sasha Banks was better. Ooh, and that's bad. And that's what's funny. Going back to it's not a wrestling stream, but Sasha Banks and that girl, whatever the hell her name is, one of them married to one of the Usos, they left the company. And I'm like, honey, if you're leaving based on your performance in Mandalorian, then good luck, because that was not good. They didn't give her good material to work with. Yeah, right. It was terrible regardless. Just not good. Lore advisor. Well, again, we've talked about this before. Pablo knows Star Wars. Leland Shee knows Star Wars. Matt Martin probably doesn't, and some of those others on the story group, but they've been neutered. They don't matter. So even if he tells them hey, this doesn't make sense, they're not going to care, because it's a figurehead committee is all the story group is. It's a joke. And right out of the gate, we're discarding the EU, and guess what? We're appointing you people on this committee. Well, the fact that they had to accept that just to get the job tells you all you need to know from the get-go, that group was going to be snipped at the balls. All right, let's see here, because we haven't even gotten to the meat of this yet. It was something that Lucasfilm actually got in front of and said, this is a thing that, and we got through that. Ingram noted that Obi-Wan Kenobi director Deborah Chow has been putting the proper systems in place, so I feel safe as we do work throughout production. Of course, there are always pockets of hate, Ingram said, but I have no problem with the block button. Yeah, and she's exactly right. Pockets. That's what there is. It's not this concerted effort. And it's not hate the way that she's saying. It could just be that, hey, you suck and you're terrible, like we're doing right now in the chat. But we're not saying racist stuff. That's the difference. So she's half right there, that it's a pocket of people. But critics, hey, they're going to be all over the place because this thing is eminently criticizable. The Queen's Gambit alum stars opposite McGregor and Hayden Christensen, as well as Joel Edgerton, blah, blah, blah. By the way, was Bonnie Peace in this episode yet? Was Baru? I didn't see anything in the recaps on her. Obi-Wan Kenobi is set 10 years after the events. Blah, blah, blah. And here we go. Obi-Wan is going to bring the most diversity I think we've ever seen in the galaxy before, Ingram added. To me, it's long overdue. If you've got talking droids and aliens, but no people of color, it doesn't make any sense. So take that line and stop right there. Stop right there. Because, but no people of color. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You've got Lando Calrissian, one of the main characters, one of the top billed characters in the second and third movies. I mean, as a hero. And then at the rebel bases and, you know, in the cities and wherever else, you see all kinds of people. And then you fast forward 20 plus years later, 15 years later, and you've got the prequels. Well, a couple of years ago, you had E.K. Johnston, another one of the psychopathic Disney Lucasfilm authors, saying that prequels weren't diverse enough. And she stopped very short of calling Lucas out by name. But she said that they didn't have enough representation. So that's who they're allowing to work for this company. People who disrespect the creators, the original creators. And that's not right. And I think it's a trend that we're seeing when you look at all the protesters at Disney and other companies. When you look at these game developers, the companies with those employees, I can't handle crunch. I can't do it. I know what we'll do. We'll just accuse the CEO of sexual harassment. That's exactly what they do. It's this trend currently of employees of companies, expendable employees of companies, trying to rebel. That's what's happening, allowing E.K. Johnston and Moses Ingram to say stuff like this. And it's not just the company, it's the legacy of the property, of the name of Star Wars. It's 2022, you know, so we're just at the beginning of that change. But I think to start that change is better than never having started it. What are you talking about? You know what we're going to do at some point? We are going to make a video, and that's the royal we. We're going to make a video of every person of color. We don't want to have to do that, but just to prove these morons wrong, we're going to have to do that. And I'm talking every single real canon publication. We're going to prove this idiot wrong. Blah, blah, blah. They're talking about Kelly Marie Tran again. So that's what's going on. You've got these companies like this that are trying to insulate themselves from criticism by attacking the fans. And that's what it is. It's an attack. Oh no, the action figures won't sell. It's because of racism. Oh no, Rotten Tomatoes fan scores low. Star Wars fans. It couldn't be that this production was actually bad or has opportunities. Could it? Knights of Melvin is in the house. What's going on, my lord? Awesome channel. If you guys have never checked out Melvin, I know that, we've talked about him a lot on here. Definitely sub to the channel and join the Discord. It is an active Discord that is fucking fun. So definitely do that. We've got to collab sometime. All of us here. Someone made a meme that I showed Alora and Greg. It was it was like the anti-Shilltastic 4 or the anti-Shill Avengers, something like that. It was a great meme. But yeah, make sure that you sub to Knights of Melvin and join the channel and the Discord and all that stuff. Let's go back up here and see what you guys are saying with this shit topic. Yeah, Naomi is the wrestler girl with she always has crazy hair and wearing like neon stuff. Boba Fett's not watching it. Very good. Make sure you're watching Rhino's replays. Rhino, make sure you have your live streams out there to watch on replay. Sometimes you don't. Mine are pretty much always out there unless there was some kind of stuff that I don't want out there that like a guest might have said. And I'm like, not my normal guest, but some other people. The attitude of these adult pretenders of either wrestling or Hollywood are more entitled than your average socialist college student saying it should be free. Yeah, and I work in it every day. I hear all these newer kids we're hiring wanting this and that, and it's like, just come in and do your damn job, you pussy. Holocron at Library Fox is in the house. What's going on? Thanks for being here. Haven't seen you in a while. Think I saw you in someone else's chat. Okay, so she's not in either episode yet. Okay. And by the way, I think we talked about this a little bit. Maybe we can have a segment sometime. But Bonnie Peace was in this weird sex cult. It's like, I couldn't believe it. I thought it was some kind of like parody, but it's a real thing. Like, it started out as a pyramid scheme. And then once you're in it, you find out that, oh, wow, this is some kind of weird sex cult. So look into that, guys. It's a really interesting story. There needs to be like Dark Side of the 2000s on Vice, and they need to have an episode on that. Even though those Dark Side of the football and wrestling ones can be pretty biased, and it is Vice, but she was there for 5 seconds. Okay. I'm sure they'll show more of her later. What about's in the house? What's going on? Well, I mean, yeah. I don't know what she looks like now, but back in the day, yeah. I can't remember, John. I can't remember, man. I really don't remember. I read about that a while back, like maybe a year ago. So I think she got out of it maybe in 2017, something like that. Yeah, yeah, Hollywood. That's the answer. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, Alice. Yeah, that's right. Allison Mack from Smallville. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's the one, because I remember reading on that. It's just crazy how guys like that, the leaders of them, are able to use that mind control over these people and get them to do that stuff and keep them. It's insane. SoCal Trojan 99 is in the house. Sup. By the way, he's got that Batman avatar. We're not going to really go into this, but this thing that's going around on social media where Batman gives us the old line that we've been hearing for a couple of years, like, I don't care about private businesses being burned down because they have insurance. Batman said that, guys, in a comic that, oh, who cares about private businesses? They have insurance. I'm going to go fight real crime. Or some shit like that. Are you fucking kidding me? DC is worse than Marvel. We've talked about this. Back on Indecent Behavior, it was like DC every week Not because like we had this hard on for DC, but because there was something in the news stupid that they'd done. So fuck DC. Jared Leto is a would-be guru with a sex cult now. I'm not surprised. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Dead Company. Yeah, we're not going to go too much into that, but I saw that out there, and as a huge Batman fan, it made me depressed. Like if I turn my chair this way, or maybe this way, yeah, there it is. You can see this newspaper. I've had that for 23 years. Whenever the Cataclysm event happened, that was inside, I think, like a Wizard magazine, and it's like a headline of the earthquake that hit Gotham. So been into Batman ever since 89 came out. You know, like when the movie came out, cool movie when you're a teenager, whatever. Over the years, I like it less, you know, but it's what got me into comics. I saw that movie, immediately went to the grocery store because they had one of those turnstiles, grabbed a bunch, started going to the local comic shop, Grapevine Comics and Cards in North Stockton, California. Then I started going to the one on the central part of town, Al's Comics. Stan Lee actually visited there in, I think, 86, and they made the Fantastic Four be from there, from Stockton, California, until they moved him back to New York in the 90s. So that's what really got me into it, was Batman. Still a huge Batman fan. Haven't read that shit in 15 or more years. And don't plan on picking it back up unless it's some of the old stuff, of which I have boxes over there of Batman comics. I have all kinds of comics except Spider-Man. I have like 2. By the way, where's Timon? Speaking of Spider-Man, haven't seen Timon. Maybe that's the dog whistle. Tim F is in the house. What's going on? So anyway, that's pretty much it on this topic, guys. It's disgusting and it's not surprising. But it is frustrating and something that makes you angry that they would treat us this way. When I say us, I'm not one of their fans, but just any fan. But again, not surprising. Let's hop on over to this one. So in the Vanity Fair series is what I want to call it, all these articles they started coming out with, this is one of the more recent ones, and it's on Leslye Headland, of course. The Acolyte, how Star Wars is about to venture back in time. And then look at this art. This isn't new by any means. This is High Republic art. Look at this. Let me share my screen. Look at this right here. What the hell is this? It's almost like they just took the paintbrush and went, okay, blop, blop, blop. There's the nose and eyes. Looks like a skeleton. Gosh, that's horrible. This guy's got the supercut special right here. And then, you know, just like all other Disney Star Wars, they have to ignite their blades for no reason. In almost every piece of art, and even in video, you know, like Rey. Let me stare at my lightsaber, and I'm Darth Maul, like, you're gonna come get trained to be a criminal mastermind. It's like, oh wow, it's Star Wars, guys. I see a lightsaber now. This is a pretty long one. We're not really going to go through all of it, but I wanted to hit on a few points that are important. And here it is right here. Headland, best known for her work producing and directing for the shows Russian Doll and Single Drunk Female, and the movies The Bachelorette and Sleeping with Other People, is drawing extensively from what's known as the Expanded Universe, or the EU. And they have periods there, which is not done with the EU, which is the plethora of books, games, and comics that are now considered unofficial legends instead of narrative canon. When the Acolyte debuts, Lovers of those stories may be relieved to see aspects of them become real once again. So the 42514 announcement actually touched on that, and they made people think that, hey, we're going to take that stuff and put it back into our narrative, guys. So we're not discarding it. They literally said it's not being discarded, even though it was. What that really is saying we're not creative, and this part is good and we actually like it, so we're going to bastardize it and we're going to steal it because we're uncreative. That's what it is. So whoever wrote this, let's find out if the name is real or not. Anthony, it's that Anthony Bresnikan guy. Yeah, but sometimes you'll get those names on these articles that's like 2 first names. And it's like, what the hell? Some kind of pseudonym. So, yeah, they probably read that announcement, and then that's the narrative that, hey, whenever they take something and they use it in the new canon, as people say, then it's a good thing, and they think it's neat. It's a member berry, and yay, we brought it back into the canon. She is a gigantic Star Wars fan, said Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy. What's wonderful about Leslye is she knows it all. I mean, she's read a gazillion books inside the EU. There are and wow, so you're telling me, let's stop right there, that Kathleen Kennedy is now admitting that they do have source material. And no, that's not out of context, because we tracked down the original interview with Steel Wars where she said that. It's not out of context. And then sitting there with George, and he told her we have all this stuff. And she's just looking at him blankly like, oh, I can't wait till you're gone, old man. So she's admitting it here, that there are a gazillion books. And there are hundreds. And then comics, even more. So, gosh. There are little bits and pieces that she's drawing from that no one has explored yet in the on-screen storytelling. So number one, probably false. It probably has already been bastardized, because we know Filoni did it with Clone Wars and Rebels and probably Resistance. Who knows? You'd have to actually see Resistance to know that. I don't think anyone has. And not only that, but I guarantee that's overblown. Because when all this stuff started coming out in 2020, that, hey, it's Leslye Headland, the former personal assistant of Harvey Weinstein, all that stuff, when that started coming out, you could just tell from the interviews that she was one of those people that read the whatever you want to call it, like at the bare minimum, you've got to say these things. I've read Heir to the Empire. You got to say that. I've read the Thrawn trilogy. What's your favorite Star Wars movie, Ms. Headland? I like all of them. All the Star Wars. Yeah, you sound like a real EU fan. Now, who's to say in the last 2 years she hasn't started looking into more of them? But not necessarily for the purpose of enjoying them, but so she can find stuff to steal. And if you guys didn't know, this shit is set at the very end of the High Republic era. Don't even know what the hell that means. It's, 100 years before Phantom Menace and Disney continuity, but I still don't know what High Republic means. It's stupid. Like, why would 100 years before the Phantom Menace be the height of the Republic? Oh, and I don't know. Just totally different topic there. In the prequels, Mace Windu says there's no way that the Sith could have reemerged without us knowing about it. Hard to see the dark side is. He acknowledges that this is part of the Force that has been dormant, or at least hidden from them for so long. What I immediately wondered about this particular period was, who is practicing it? The Sith are. It's the rule of two. That's why Darth Bane came up with the rule of 2. So that they could stay hidden, yet keep the tradition alive. Did you not know that, Leslye? Blah, blah, blah. Something about the High Republic and explaining it. No one cares. Talking about like what the Star Wars universe looks like, the decay and all that stuff. I want to get to the part where she really reveals her agenda. Cinematic influences. And this is where I think that she has taken this and misunderstood what George was doing, or not. If she's not misunderstanding it, she's purposefully misinterpreting it just so that she can justify what she's going to do on the show. What are some of your cinematic influences for the show? Jon Favreau said that when you're working in this world, you want to go back to what George was inspired by. There were Westerns, and then, of course, Akira Kurosawa samurai films, and the fact that he originally offered Obi-Wan Kenobi to Toshiro Mifune. So I actually went more toward the martial arts films and storylines that are a little bit more personal and less global and galactic. So I think what she's done here is you're going to see a bunch of, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon stuff, like all these martial arts and stuff, and then say, well, hey, George was inspired by it. Now, there's a difference there because in the prequels and the original trilogy, you don't see a whole heck of a lot of really martial arts. The closest that you're going to get to that is Duel of the Fates, right? In the Phantom Menace, you're going to see Maul doing a lot of acrobatics and stuff like that, but you don't see like a lot of boom, 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 like we're watching an episode of Cobra Kai or something like that. But I guarantee that's the type of stuff you're going to see. That's my prediction right now on 5/27/22, guys. That's my prediction. Before we continue here, let's scroll back up and read some comments. Gosh, how far back was this? Yeah, definitely hit the like button, guys, if you're here. Hit that like button, make a comment tomorrow or next week. Helps the algorithm. Yeah, Mullen Solo. It happens all the time. It's all they know how to do. Yeah. Every time I hear that name, the very first thing I think of when I hear Harvey Weinstein's name are the videos I first saw from Ryan Kinnell. And I could just hear him saying it like the personal assistant of Harvey Weinstein. I can just hear it. Oh, man. Those were the days over 2 years ago. Clean shaven Ryan. Yeah, become real once again. Yeah, very pretentious and insulting, to be quite frank. To everyone who has shepherded and kept track of the continuity, the expanded universe lore for years. Games Freak is in the house saying howdy with the Nintendo Switch avatar. What's going on? Well, there's Disney continuity because, as my documentary shows, canon has a definition and it's one thing. So you can say Disney continuity, but when you say canon, there's a real canon, the only canon, and it's the one that started in 1977 and ended on 4/25/14. And even the Old Republic stuff that's coming out is produced by Disney, so doesn't count. It's fan fiction. Exactly. Hey, Talim, I'm not going to highlight that, but I see what that 3-letter acronym is. That TLA. I'm so sorry for anyone that watched that. I think I saw like 20 seconds of it one time on a preview, and I'm like, man, that looks terrible. MJ1 Media is in the house. What's going on? Yes, Queen Kathleen. I'd love to write Star Wars. Yeah, she called her Queen Kathy or whatever the hell it was. That's cringe. Robofed asks, on Twitter, you said that the Grand Inquisitor was an EU, but another EU person said he was not. Well, there's going to be more than one because I think they died or moved on and they were replaced, but they're not like in uniforms like these people are, and they're not like, oh, I'm walking out into public and all that kind of theatrical bullshit. I can't remember who the grand one was, but they mention high inquisitors early on, like in the 80s, like maybe Star Wars Sourcebook. Well, then when you get into the later books and stuff, I think they actually show them, like in the Last of the Jedi series, which is kind of taking place around the time that the Obi-Wan Kenobi show is. Like the one I remember most, it wasn't the Grand Inquisitor, it was a high one named Tremaine. And what they did was, like a lot of Jedi that kind of turned to the dark side and stuff, kind of like Disney did when they bastardized it. And Vader just kind of used them as pawns. They were no threat. And when we talk to Tusken Bob, he'll say that he doesn't agree with it and he thinks they shouldn't exist. But here's the thing. If you read Darth Plagueis, you will understand that the balance of the Force that was caused by the Return of the Sith wasn't just, hey, there are Darksiders using it. It's what Plagueis and then Palpatine were doing in their experiments and stuff that disrupted the power of the Force. So there's someone out there in a galaxy of trillions of people that will be born with Force ability and then start using it and then using it in a dark way, right? So someone out there, regardless of whether or not there's an organization like the Jedi Order or the Inquisitorius, which is a name also that came from the EU that Disney stole, but someone's going to use the dark side. But it's not going to throw the Force out of balance because it didn't have anything to do with what Darth Plagueis was actually trying to do. So Greg and I can fight about that. And again, they weren't like in these uniforms with all these, dramatic costumes and landing in the middle of a street and all that bullshit. That's just silly. I got to get a drink here. Wet my whistle. Oh, yeah, I love cider. Hard ciders. Chancellor Lena So of the High Republic is strengthening the Republic through expansion, peace, and optimism. Let's go, Brandon. LGB. LGB. If you've never seen that video, look it up. Pretty amazing. Yeah, who's practicing it? Who could it be? Who's doing it all this time? Gosh. Freaking amazing. Leslye Headland. Yeah, Leslye Headland. That's wonderful. Gonna have to make a meme of that. Oh, by the way, we have a new segment, guys. Once my guests are on, brand new segment. Let me go ahead and play the intro, so definitely stick around for that. It's called this. Yeah, so we're going to do a meme review every week now. maybe some of mine. Alora's in the game now. She made an amazing one earlier today. So we're going to look at that stuff. Have some fun later once we get past all this bullshit. Jack is in the house. Jack of all casuals, member of the channel. Can't stay. Leaving a like and watching the replay. Well, thank you, sir. Thanks for being a member and thanks for watching the replay. We get a lot of replays because it is, like on the East Coast, almost midnight, and people are tired from watching other streams and all that stuff. So probably starting on Monday, the views will just double, and it's amazing. Like, if you can be here live, great. But if not, watch it on replay. I try to make a lot of the show less visual and just so you can listen to it, especially when the guests come on. So definitely watch the show on replay, everyone. If you're driving to work, going on a trip, whatever. Headland claims, yeah, that's what I'm going to get to. I'm going to get to that. Yeah, that's the part I was talking about. She doesn't even make any sense, John. Subhumans in the house. Speaking of being on the road and potentially listening to replays. What's going on, Sub? Pair-based. Yeah, I had one of those like 20 years ago. Used to go to this one liquor store that was way ahead of the curve on getting stuff like that because just not a lot of places had the craft beers and the different kinds of stuff other than, we've got Bud and Miller and Michelob and all that stuff. So I found some pear stuff long time ago and loved it. Yeah, we've got a couple of local places here that exclusively do hard ciders. So fun stuff. This one right here is 8%. So 2 24-ounce cans. And even at my size, you are pretty smashed. Good stuff. Just drink it slow. Got me a cigar. A nice one. I'm going to smoke tomorrow night. Going to have a little party. Was going to have some people over. I said, you know what? I'm just going to chill just with the family. Out on the deck. Nice warm weather. Memorial Day weekend. And ask yourself this on a quick aside, guys. Like the founding fathers, all the people that ever fought for your freedom, the way that they would want you to thank them is by enjoying that freedom. So recognize what they did, but have fun. Just enjoy the freedom that you have because we still have freedom and we have to fight for it. And that's what's important to remember on holiday weekends like Memorial Day. So get drunk and eat a lot of food, guys. No, but yeah, that's how I think that those who gave their lives for this country think for the United States. Did you happen to see that? No, I don't have a lot of time to watch anything like, working so many hours and then having to deal with family stuff. It's insane. It's kind of good that Kenobi's going, with Rhino and Greg doing the stream Casual Rage, because I was going to dip out because I just can't do it, like a breakdown of it. Because it's really getting busy. Like the house, we're starting to pack stuff up. Pretty sad moment. I was packing up the Star Wars collectibles. The only thing I have left up are the books, pretty much. So all the toys and stuff have been carefully bubble wrapped and put away. And then they'll be there for about 4 or 5 months until I move into the new house. So kind of a sad moment, but they'll come back. Let's get back to this here. Oh, yeah. Sorry to hear about that. I lost all my parents and grandparents over a decade ago. So it's not a great feeling for sure. I'll tell you what, when my guests are on Boba Fett, I'll run in there into the coffee shop and get it off the shelf. I can't remember. But like John said, I want to find the part that, because the rest of it's just a bunch of boring garbage. Here it is. Star Wars. is set in a society in which there is great spiritual advancement and also great technological advancement. And in between, people are trying to maintain their humanity while being drawn by these two poles. You're being drawn by these two poles. Two poles. I'm being spit roasted. It is unusual to point to pieces of pop culture that have representations of extreme spirituality. The concept of God is such a, this is her answering, is such a heavy concept. The concept of religion is such a really oppressive one, especially for people like myself and many, many others. So, what you just made me realize is that part of the lasting effect is that Star Wars is a spiritual story. So you're going to tell me, Leslye Headland, that being such a Star Wars fan and knowing all the EU and all that stuff for 30 or more years, you're going to tell me that a question from Vanity Fair made you just realize that Star Wars is spiritual. I can tell you this right now. One of my favorite things to watch in the 80s was From Star Wars to Jedi. It was like a making of thing, just like it says from the first movie, because even back then they called it Star Wars, even though A New Hope was already the name of the episode. Lucas would still call it Star Wars. And it's him sitting on a couch and just talking, and then they'll show footage. Very good documentary. It's on YouTube, but I have a couple of different VHSs of it. But point is, he even talks about that Star Wars, like in the very end, whenever Luke loses R2 in the trench run, I lost R2. He said he did that on purpose because at the end of the day, and then he turns off his targeting computer because he wanted Star Wars to be about the human spirit, the human element. Literally in those words, he said that. So you're telling me that this big Star Wars fan is just finding that out when being interviewed by Vanity Fair. Wow. And then I don't even know what she means. This doesn't even make sense. The concept of religion is such a really oppressive one, especially for people like myself. What does she mean by that? People like herself that think a certain way? Or is it because of her lifestyle, if you know what I mean? Because when you say religion, people tend to think, okay, either a Catholic or a Protestant church, whatever. You don't tend to think about, I don't know, I'm just throwing this out there, Scientology or Buddhism or Tao or whatever. You tend to think of church on Sunday, right? Sunday school and all that stuff. So I don't even know what the hell she's talking about. That answer doesn't even make sense. Next paragraph. Even Tolkien is not as spiritual as the Force is, or Yoda is. I remember as a child being raised in a Catholic home when Yoda says, "Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter." Even as a kid, I knew that much, so much more than I understood catechisms and sacraments and all of those other things. So now she's saying she did understand it when she was a kid. What the hell is she even saying? Every time I see her talk, it's incoherent, doesn't make any sense. Like in the Disney Lucasfilm Supercut, I have a very short clip of her, and you can tell like she doesn't even know what she's talking about. And she always has that nervous laugh because she knows she doesn't know what she's talking about. I got that immediately, that I have a spirit in addition to having a body. For George to have done that, it's almost an impossible thing. I don't get it. Why didn't they push back on that? Like, what do you mean? Because it's a softball interview, obviously. It's kind of like at Davos, at World Economic Forum. It's kind of like having Reuters. Not Reuters. It's Reuters, guys. I'm going to read an article from Reuters here. It's Reuters. So it's just like Reuters being the official fact checker. I think it's that news outlet. One of the big outlets is. That's kind of like having Vanity Fair and this obvious partnership here with Star Wars, with Disney Lucasfilm on all these articles, and they're on the cover and stuff. That's almost like the same thing. Let's have these softball interviews. I would have asked her what the hell she's talking about and probed on that further, because it makes no sense. But they asked this instead. Is that part of the Acolyte too? That would be my big hope in getting to play in this world, to continue to search through a spiritual story that changes someone's identity or destiny. That, to me, is the heart of it. Okay. Like change over time is good for a person if they're going from bad to good. I'm trying to be fair here, everyone. Okay, great. But we kind of know what she means. It'll be something a little bit different. It won't be the way that I'm thinking, the way that I'm speaking here about kind of like a redemption arc. It won't be anything like that. It'll be one of her and the others' postmodernist lines of thinking for sure. But yeah, let's see what you guys are saying, because this whole question and answer is so convoluted and doesn't even make any sense. It's contradictory. I don't get it. Let's scroll back up here. Yeah, it's Republic. Sick intro. Yeah, thank you very much. You know what? I literally threw that together about 25 minutes before the stream. That's one of the reasons I was a couple of minutes late, because I had to upload it and all that stuff. So, he did receive help from Joseph Campbell after all. Yeah, I think he either took one of his classes and had an ongoing dialogue with him after he left and all that type of stuff. So, and here's the thing, like when it comes to Joseph Campbell, I don't think it was 100% correct, but just like with someone, take like Jordan B. Peterson or Dr. Thomas Sowell. But, well, Dr. Thomas Sowell may be the closest, where I pretty much agree with almost everything they say, but they're not 100% accurate, in my opinion. But that's where Joseph Campbell is. Brilliant guy. He was right about a lot of stuff, but I don't think he was like the be-all, end-all. And we can have a whole stream about that sometime. In fact, I'm making a George Lucas video, long form George Lucas video, and that would be a good place to touch on that, his influence from Joseph Campbell, the author of The Hero with 1,000 Faces. Well, I mean, yeah, if you want to break it down there, I don't know if that's going to happen in the show, but certainly in this interview, it was happening. Soul Assassin. I'm Catholic too, so what? What the fuck does this have to do with Star Wars? Oh, nothing. She's just dumb. Yeah, that's pretty much it, because I can't figure out what's being said here. I just can't. It's an oppressive one. People like myself and many others. Then she says, you made me realize that. But then she says, I realized it as a kid. Whatever, Leslye. I'm going to back up here for a second. Can you talk to me about the necessity to grow beyond the Skywalker era? I mean, it's just a good question. It's such a good question. And I think there are probably people that would disagree with you. There would be people who say that is Star Wars. Star Wars is the Skywalker saga. And they have saga lowercase, not in the proper noun form. For someone like myself who was introduced to Star Wars not just through the films, but also through role-playing games, I'm also like, you don't understand what type of escapism that this afforded me as a young kid. A kid that did not fit in, that had many, many behavioral problems. I was able to escape into that world with my friends, to pretend that I was part of that world. It was not like And now you have to do a scene from the original movie. You could imagine your own scenarios. That's what they're saying to her. She says, my first stabs at writing. We're writing essentially what you might call Star Wars fan fiction, meaning I would be inspired by Timothy Zahn, 1991 Star Wars novel Heir to the Empire. There it is. I'd be inspired by a particular gaming session with my friends, and then I would go and write. What if my character was also in a different scenario? And what would she do there? Pronoun is obviously she. So she's kind of taking a role-playing scenario and using it to justify whatever they're going to do here. And, you know, look at what they call the Skywalker saga with Rey. It's almost like they're saying Rey's an NPC, and that's what Rian Johnson was trying to do, saying her parents weren't important, she wasn't important, all this stuff, the postmodernist message that anyone can be great, which is abjectly false, because not everyone can be great. Not everyone has the capacity to be great. You have the capacity to be decent in life and to get by, but not everyone can be great. That was Luke. Luke was the greatest of them all. He redeemed the guy that brought balance to the Force. He was one in 25,000 years. You don't get another one 25 years later. Doesn't even make any sense. So that's what Leslye Headland's doing here, using the concept of a role-playing scenario to justify fan fiction, essentially, because that's what Disney Star Wars is, just letting all these different people play in this universe. Hey, Taika Waititi, come on in. Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams, come on in. Do whatever you want. It's frustrating. FuchNorris is in the house, member of the channel. How are you, sir? Mohai Master says these people always mention Heir to the Empire. That's what I was saying earlier, and I've said that in the past. That's like it's on the checklist of what they tell people to say. Yeah, send me that. I'll use that in my video. If you're going to use it in yours, tell me, because I don't want to be redundant. Let's see what else is in here that I thought was interesting. Oh, wow, look at this. Honestly, my pitch to Kathy was the first time that everybody in the room was a woman. I've done many of those types of pitches, and I was like, this is trippy that my big intellectual property meeting is all ladies. That was pretty cool. Oh, gosh. That's how they think, guys. That is how they think. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this one. Not a surprise. This will be just as bad as Obi-Wan Kenobi is, as we knew it would be. No surprise. I don't think anyone is surprised, or if not, you shouldn't be surprised at how bad it is. This will be worse. We know the lady that's going to play the main character, this Amandla Stenberg, done a video on her late last year. She's another one of the, I try to avoid using labels like this, but one of the woke SJWs. So what does that tell you? It tells you all you need to know. All right. Sorry, Jedi Riffster. $3 on Streamlabs from the Jedi Riffster. I'd much rather play Star Wars The Old Republic than watch one more minute of Jake Kenobi. Hashtag Jake Kenobi sucks. Yeah. I prefer Fauxbi-Wan Kenobi. Hashtag Fauxbi-Wan Kenobi. I'm pretty sure if you search social media, you'll find that I coined that term. I'll stand corrected if someone finds an earlier instance of it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's going to be another shit show. We have got so much more to talk about too. Oh yeah, there's that. And that. It's just amazing though. All this stuff. And you know what else? As we wait for the guest to show up, all the narratives crumbling, guys. Like all the sources being made to look like complete bullshit over the last couple of days with Kathleen Kennedy, all but calling out big channels with sources. If you look at some of her comments, there's no civil war. All of them are woke. John and Dave, all of them. It's all going to be crap, guys. I mean, is this a big shock? We have video of Dave Filoni. Everyone has it in one of their videos. He's at a women's conference saying all the stuff that he said. I mean, this isn't news. There's ample evidence out there that these people are woke. All of them. You wouldn't be working for that company if you weren't. Name someone working for that company that's not, or contracted by that company that's not. Good luck. That's a good question. That's a philosophical question, and I don't have the answer to it. Do hashtags take hyphens? Don't know. Yeah, just do it all together. Remove the dash after by. After B, however you want to pronounce that. I think we have someone in the back. Let's go ahead and bring him in public, if you will. Where the hell are my intros at? Damn it! There they are. What's up?
What's up? How you doing? I was gonna kick out of that. Thank you. Oh goodness.
Doing pretty good. I mean, this is just a shit show.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. It's a big mess, and it's not a surprise to us because we've been saying this was going to happen for a really long time. So
yeah, just like that meme I made when tell them you were right.
Did you see the new segment we're going to be doing, Meme Streak?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Yeah, we're going to look at that one. That's the first one. I actually put it in Melvin's server earlier tonight. So they have a meme. What the hell do you call those channels? Whatever the hell they're called on Discord. So yeah.
Oh, okay. That's right. I'm still not familiar with Discord, and I don't explore it very much. I'm gonna have to go check out that one and go be a part of his as well. And I see the chat is hopping here. And hello, everyone. I hope you guys are all doing well. Yeah.
Let's bring in the other person that's backstage. What's up, Greg?
Hello, everybody. How are we doing?
What is this?
Tim, you're the star of the Cassian Andor series, and I thought I'd just pay tribute to your momentous casting
What are you talking
victory. You're in the trailer.
There is an image of an
There's a
actor
character in the trailer that everybody says looks like you.
Yeah.
about? Everyone? Who?
I see. I don't know everybody, but a lot of people.
You probably saw my comment. As soon as Rhino said we're watching the trailer this morning, I noped out. I'm like, or this afternoon, I'm like, I'm out. So if it happened during then,
there's the character.
Oh, I don't look like that guy. That guy looks cross-eyed. Do I look cross-eyed?
Just rough up your hair and look angry.
There we go.
And there you go.
This is congratulations, Tim. But to celebrate one of the articles, we'll switch to a different. We'll switch to a different one.
Oh boy!
Is the head going to move?
We got the return of Leslye Headland.
Oh boy! You should have put her head on the stick and took little Boba Fett's off.
Yeah, but see, like I thought about that, and then if people would have seen that, they would have been like, "Oh, look he's promoting violence.
He's sexist
against a woman in control of Star Wars."
Yeah, remember the one where the head would spin that you used to have?
Okay.
Yeah, I had the head spinning one with her, and then one with KK as well. I did transfer those over from my old computer. I just haven't put them in new OBS. So,
yeah, we don't need to see him tonight. It's all good.
No.
Timon is here. What's going on?
Yeah, Timon's been on the chat for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad that I look like John Orr's right here, so my face fits on there perfectly. So,
Really, is that her or is that you?
that's me as her.
How'd you
That's
do
a face
that?
swap. I did
Your
the
head's
face
kind of
swap.
tiny compared to the rest, though. It doesn't quite fit.
It's about hers. It's about the same.
Yeah, she has a small head.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can work on a bobblehead OG Star Wars Jane Er's OBS background.
I need to
Funko
get
Pop.
to OBS. I do. I need to do that. That'd be fun. All right.
Anyway, yeah, so, all I can say is before we get into some of this that I want to know what Rhino's price is. Like, let's keep going up. Is it $70? Is it $90? Is it $200? How much would he take to never watch an episode of that show again?
Oh boy.
That's what I want to know, because I watched it, you guys, this morning, most of it, and it's like, it's painful. I don't want you guys to go through that because I care.
Oh, you care.
Because I care about your sanity.
You care about our mental well-being. Yeah. I think my mental well-being when it comes to Star Wars is actually in a pretty good place, because like I'm not even like it just can't anger me that much anymore. It's so dead to me that I just don't even care. Like I was rooting for the helicopter when that scene, when she's up on the rooftops, I was like cheering for the helicopter thing. I wanted to see it so bad.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's kind of where I'm at. To get upset about, the fact that they're breaking canon and everything is like, wow, Jesus Christ, everything they do breaks canon.
That's the same.
I'm just exhausted of being angry of that. That ship sailed so freaking long ago. I mean, it is kind of funny to point out that they can't even keep their continuity between their own shows straight. I mean, that's funny.
No, that's laughable. I'm at the point right now. It's like when the show was being aired, the 2 episodes, I had a couple people DMing me. I had a few people, tweeting me, telling me about everything. And they're like, you guys were right about this. It's blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and all I could do was just laugh. All I could do was just laugh about everything, like the contradictions and the lore, about like, yeah, we were right. We told you guys, we told you we were right. Everything was going to happen this way and stuff. And so I'm at the point of like more laughing than cringing at everything right now. So
yeah, for me, I think I said this in Rhino's chat. It's like, I can't remember how I worded it, but the existence of the show makes me angry, but not specific things in it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Just it's yet another thing that is trying to supplant what came before. So in that
Mhm.
sense, I hate it. But I was laughing when I read the recap. I'm like, there's no way that's real. There's no way that's real. You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that sounds awful. And then some of the stuff I saw on screen on his stream, it
Mhm.
was awful. So yeah, I don't want anyone to have to see that. That's all.
And the leaks were right. Like the one show that I had that I watched, and it was, and he shared like the whole leak, like all of it for the whole 6 episodes. And so far they're right on. And I'm like, holy crap, don't watch this right now. It's like all you're going to do is just get yourself upset for nothing when you have the leaks. They're right. And just go spend your time reading something or listening to an audible or watching the 6 original movies, or Tartakovsky, go revisit the Clone Wars from Tartakovsky or something, and immerse yourself in that. If you want something good that doesn't break continuity, go play the games, go explore Kyle Katarn's arc again, or he's one of them that steals the Death Star plans, or something. Do something more productive with yourself in Star Wars other than
Yeah,
that.
just don't read something by this person.
Thank you. Let's clap for diversity.
Thank you.
Man,
Let's
that's
talk for
cringe.
diversity. Did I sound like her?
You know what she was saying?
Yes,
you
I
did.
seen that video.
She was
Yeah.
saying, let's clap for Lando Calrissian and Mace Windu.
Yeah. Yeah, after she said that Lando
Please
was
clap.
trying to get into Leia's pants. After she said, Lando was trying to get in Leia's pants, basically. I'm like,
These
did
people
you
are disgusting.
freaking watch Star Wars? Is that all you think about is sex? Whether, it's your orientation or whether you want to do it? Seriously, people, come on now. Life is more than just about that.
Yeah, you know what? Really quick here. Dude, this pisses me off. Like the bar isn't there to, like, this happened last week or whenever that was, to rewind.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to watch that entire clip.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we can do it anyway here. Let's see. It's not that long. It's like 20 seconds long. Share audio. Tell me if you can't hear it. You should be able to.
Okay.
Star Wars is great. And if you're not reflecting the people you see in the real world in your fantasy worlds, there's a problem. And I think it was really great that thank you. Let's clap for diversity. And dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs. Fuck off.
That wasn't Greg. That wasn't Greg saying that.
It's just like, fuck off.
Now, you know why the camera's shaking, right? When she says, let's clap for dessert. Because whoever's filming that's clapping.
Right. They're clapping for that. And
Yes.
the thing is, Star Wars was never about human diversity. Humans were just one species, and they were never broken down into, our sub, humans of like different, ethnicities or race or whatever. It was always just about one species in humans or one race in humans or whatever. And that was just the human. There was never the sub like we do now.
You saw what Moses said earlier about when you have aliens and droids, but no people
Yes.
of color. Shut up, you stupid bitch.
There was
Gosh.
plenty of that. And again, I go back to my point. Humans were just a species. It wasn't about fleshing out the human. It was about fleshing out the species that interacted with each other. And that's including humans, and that's including Tongs, and that's including every single one of them, Bothans, or whatever you want to, name and stuff. It wasn't just specifically about humans. And so diversity wasn't a key factor when it came to our reality, when it came to Star Wars. So, yeah.
Well, if you want to talk about messages of diversity, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
here you have a galaxy full of all sorts of different alien races that belong to a galactic republic.
Right.
I mean, it's already there. But the most damning thing about that whole thing, let's clap for diversity, is that's their level of achievement. They're like, we already won.
Right.
The fact, I mean, that is like saying, like, let's clap for cameras.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a like it that's not a success. That's not something that would be like, wow, we did our job, we did something great here, just by, you know, all the work was done after you cast the fucker.
Yeah.
I mean, what a damnation of modern writing. If that's your level of achievement, that's where like, okay, we won, we accomplished something simply by describing in a book or casting on the screen a person of color.
Yes.
Like, what a low bar.
Right. Well, they even said it even lower because they put the diversity over the story, telling the story, which weakens and which is not very attractive to anybody anymore, because people of Star Wars and maybe other franchises too, you know, go in for the story, you know, and if a character, you know, was homosexual or whatever their sexual orientation, if it was done organically, then yeah, that's great because it's still part of the story and stuff. But when it's hand-fisted in there, and it compromises the story, that's when you start losing the plot and losing the interest in the story.
Yeah, and you know, look at this right here. Look at this panel. That's exactly the point, because Danielle Jose Oder, former EMT,
Yeah.
former emergency medical technician. I'm not saying you can't be a writer, but this is Star Wars, you know?
Right.
Timothy Zahn was an established science fiction writer. Kathy Tyers, all of them were. So
Yeah.
the point is that the panel right here tells you all you need to know. Diversity hires are creating diversity content. They suck and the content sucks. Surprise. I mean, come on.
And to say, oh, and dinosaurs. Okay, so I've been in this little debate with people and stuff. Yeah, there was like reptilian dinosaur type species like the CC Rook in Star Wars, but that was never a thing of like, we must have dinosaurs thing. I don't know what their infatuation is with having dinosaurs in the lore.
They have a
That's just the inside
mindset.
joke about the whiteboard thing.
Yeah, I
that
know,
people
but that's
complain
where it
about.
came
I
from.
mean-
I know where that came from, but what is their thing about dinosaurs, like it being included on the board?
These people all talk like kindergarten teachers.
Yeah.
That's what I
And
said. It's a kindergarten mindset.
They treat us, the audience, like it's story time and we're all in our little our little carpets, you know, sitting cross-legged while the teachers like,
Hold on. Did your teachers ever have the felt board?
yeah,
You know what I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
I
talking
remember
about?
that. Yes.
And they put characters, and you know, that's
Yeah.
what these people are. That's what we need to sell. We need to come up with like a felt board Disney Star Wars storytelling mechanism and sell it.
yeah. But I mean, to continue the kindergarten analogy, it's like we're all going like, fuck this is stupid, and we're going outside to play, you know, on the playground. And the people that they have left eating this stuff up and going to the conventions, they're all the glue eaters from kindergarten.
The paint sniffers.
I don't know about you
Yeah.
guys with glue. Of course, I never liked it. I did taste it once, so I think we all tasted it once, and it's nasty. But I used to take the glue and put it all over my hands and let it dry and then peel it off like skin because it looked weird. And I think that's just the artist in me and just being fascinated with how it looks and whatever. And I don't know.
For some reason, I'm picturing that one chick that was in the Cowboy Bebop.
I did that too, but I didn't do it on my
did the
hands.
peel it like the skin thing. But
Oh, I don't want to know what you did it to then, Tim. I
Ooh.
don't want to know. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I
I
didn't
waxed
do
him.
that.
Oh boy.
But anyway, yeah, I don't even know how we. Oh yeah, the kindergarten mindset. That's what it is. And again, these are all just. This is amateur hour, guys. When it comes to Star Wars, you see on the panel here. Then you look who that is. Second from the right, you've got. Let me get my accessory here. You've got Claudia
Cludia.
Mm-hmm.
You have that person. So, yeah, I mean, and then I think the only one that really at least acts decent in public is Charles Sewell. Now, Kevin Scott, he pretends to be, oh, I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice British chap. But no, he's a woke dickhead like the rest. Now, Sewell probably is too, but he hides it at least. You know what I mean? I still don't like his writing, but yeah, he hides it. But all the rest of them,
I think maybe he's
like,
embarrassed of these other people.
Yeah, possibly. But he's a little goofy if you've ever seen him in those cringy videos. He's a little off base. But again, he probably, who knows? It could be his family. Like, I don't want my family to see me saying all this terrible stuff, you know? There's no telling. So point is that if you're on this panel, if you're one of the writers, then you either agree with it or you don't dissent to it. So pick one of them. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get any of the writing from back in the day. You're not going to get the Troy Dennings and the Michael A. Stackpoles. You're not even going to get Timothy Zahn because he has found a way to make
he's capitalized on
Thrawn boring. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you can't hit lightning twice. Obviously, you know, whatever Thrawn story was, it's already been told, and telling it a second time and trying to reinvent it, you just can't. You can't. You know. Do it again.
When he's recognized as his audience is different, so he's catering to his audience. I mean, you know, career-wise, probably, you know, if he's looking for income, that's probably the right thing to do from his perspective. But guys, I just thought of something. This isn't a kindergarten class.
Okay.
It's a second grade class, and these are all the teachers that are trying to put on the Christmas play. And the Star Wars, modern Star Wars, is little kids trying to do a stage production. And these are the stage managers.
Oh boy.
That's the quality we're getting. That's the attitude we're getting. That's the way they talk. I mean, it really, like, I think there's something there. It is, and it's as bad as watching one of those, because nobody in their right mind would ever watch these things if they didn't have to because their damn kid was in them. Mm-hmm. Like, no parent ever is like, yes, I can't wait for the fucking Christmas pageant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh boy.
So, chat, like, have you ever been to a Star Wars celebration? I can't believe they're still calling it Celebration. It should be Shillebration now, but I went to one. I went to Celebration 2, and I'll tell you what, the panels I went to were good. You know, it wasn't anything like this. It was the authors of New Jedi Order up there, and they were writing other stuff at the time. And then you had Pablo Hidalgo as the MC. And yeah, he was still a smug dickhead then, but at least he could walk around with a microphone and, you know, taking questions from fans, like real questions. And nothing like this was ever uttered up there. But going into the characters and all that type of stuff, it wasn't this staged event. And they weren't sitting in chairs. They were sitting at like a folding table, you know, just one of the old recreational style folding tables, and their backpacks were sitting there next to him because they had to go to another room. This is all this big staged event. It's a corporate event is what it is. And Lucasfilm was not really a corporation, if that makes sense. The real Lucasfilm. Now it is. And you asked the people, you asked Ben Burt, and before he passed away, J.W. Rensler, the company changed overnight, you know, and this right here is what it is now. So
yeah.
This is just a cheaper version of a gender studies college course. That's all these panels are now. Mm-hmm. Like, if you look at the list of panels, it's not celebrating Star Wars and talking about the stories and the characters so much. It is, you're going to lectures. These are lecture halls, and you're getting lectured to. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what it sounds like. That's what it feels like. And it's just like, And then they throw little teasers at the end, and that's like your little doggy treat for staying for the lecture.
Good little puppy. Now
Good little
sit.
poochie.
Didn't Rensler, or who was it? Which one was it that was doing a biography type thing and Disney shut them down? Was it Rensler?
Yeah, it was him. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I am so curious to see, like, and just to, read it and see the differences that he was revealing and stuff about, Lucasfilm versus then and now. That'd be
Yeah.
amazing to see. I would love
Yeah,
to
he
see
has he has like the manuscript, and
Mhm.
I'm hoping that his descendants, his survivors, I'm hoping that they find a way to even publish it for free.
Yeah.
That would be a last stick in the eye. You know what I'll have to do? I'll have to
That'd be
ask I'll have to ask Not My Star Wars
Uh-huh.
channel. He was pretty close with them and had interviewed him a couple of times. I'll have to ask him if there's any information on that, because I'd love to contribute to make that happen. An expose, so.
Oh, hell yeah.
But I mean, it's not like the difference in the fall and everything. It's not even a complex story. Like, this is just literally what happens when you let the HR department run your company.
Yeah. And the HR department is running every company right now, guys.
Right.
ESG investing. It's a real thing. Companies that care about profits, they wouldn't be doing this stuff unless money were involved, and money is involved. Environmental, social, and economic governance investing. They make it, and this goes all the way back to Clinton. They make it so that if they follow these paths, there are certain subsidies and certain ways that they can avoid getting in trouble for not following through on their fiduciary duty to make money for stockholders. That's why all these companies are doing this stuff. But then you get people fresh out of college in the HR departments that really are true believers, and they have an excuse. Yep. So it starts getting pushed, and it's a perfect storm. And I'm surviving right now just by keeping my head down and staying out of that stuff. I just, I'm telling you, 4 days from now, 5 days from now, when I go back to work after Memorial Day, they're going to come by. Do you want an ally magnet? No, thank you. No, thank you. Smile and say, no, thank you. That's it. I'm not going to go, ew, no. Because that'll get me in trouble.
Oh yeah, of course. I haven't been in corporate or any business now for a very long time. So I obviously haven't seen like the evolution or the regression or whatever you want to call it of, all this BS coming into the corporations for the sole sake of money and stuff like that, and appeasing people and stuff like that. So, and I'm kind of glad, doing my own businesses and stuff like that.
That's awesome. That's the American dream right there.
Yeah, it's been. Yeah, it's a lot more work on your own and stuff. Hell yeah, but so worth it because I don't have to put up with that bullshit.
Yeah, you have more responsibility, right? Because people don't think about stuff. I'm going to go make my own business. Right. You got to think about insurance for yourself, not just medical insurance. I mean, making sure that you have enough
large
insurance.
liability and
liability.
Yeah, I have liability for myself as a yoga teacher. So wherever I teach at, like at a different yoga studio. And then I have the yoga studio that we're doing a soft opening. Finally, my accident and everything kind of set everything back. We're doing a soft opening here in the beginning of June. And so we have that studio liability insurance. And then we also have to get music insurance because, copyright issues, so
pretty soon.
Shouldn't yoga studios be like hard openings?
Pretty soon you're going to have a national chain, and it's going to be awesome. Just keep on going. But I mean, people don't realize all the stuff that goes along with it. But where I was going with that is, at the same time, there's a certain freedom there where you don't have to worry about, the boss's boss sent me here to to fuck with you because you did something that they don't like or whatever. You don't have to deal with that type of bullshit. It's like everything is taken at face value. What you see is what you see. And I'm dealing with stuff where you have to try and figure out what you're seeing, what it really means. And It's been a long time, and I'm getting sick of it. Anyway,
Well, just some words of wisdom for anybody that's running a company out there, of their own. Don't ever run your company like Michael Scott, but always treat HR like Toby. He treats
yes. Toby. Oh, that's so awesome. That one time he signs the thing slowly and he takes the pen and he just goes and throws it at his forehead.
Like that is automatically how you should view HR, because they're literally only there to make sure you don't get sued, and that's it. Anything that they suggest beyond that, be like, oh, I want to have a seminar. Fuck you, you're fired. No seminars. No meetings. Yeah. None of that stuff. Get the hell out of here. No way. They suck productivity out of your company. They suck the life out of your company. They suck creativity out. They destroy everything.
Yeah, I love when in one of the early episodes when they're going into a meeting, and they took this from the UK version. It might be in the first episode, and Toby makes some kind of comment, and Michael says, hey man, like, get the hell out of here. And he thinks he's kidding. He's like, no man, get out of here. And then Toby just like walks away. It's like, man, that must feel empowering, to tell HR to get the hell out. I love the way he treated Toby throughout the entire series. Fantastic.
Absolutely. Because he's like, and Michael, like I said, don't, if you're a manager of something, probably don't adopt Michael Scott's management style for anything else. But that aspect I would highly, highly, highly endorse. Basically, it's just like, bitch, I need you to screen my interview questions for legality. I need you to comply with employee I-9 forms and, make sure they're filling out their W-2s and all that other bullshit. Beyond that, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dwight, you can't cook a goose in the office. Toby, please.
God, I love that show. Like, there's just there's just scenes I can think of right now where that I just make me just giggle, like fucking CPR.
Hi, staying alive. You can tell by the way I walk, I'm a ladies man.
That episode just had me dying. Like, it still kills me every time I watch it.
Anyway,
because it's kind of it's extreme, but it's kind of true.
Oh, and let me tell you something, Michael Scott. People think, oh, there's no way. There is a way. I've seen guys like that have survived like faux pas like that all the time, and it's like, how? Like, if I did something, I'd be out, but this guy has gone out and done all this and that. It's because somehow they add value that they don't want to lose, and it showed that Michael Scott added value. Yeah, like whenever he wins Tim Meadows the contract with the county and all that type of stuff, that's why that show was brilliant, because they were able to show that, he's not just this dumbass. He does have certain talents. He can ice skate.
He's a good salesman.
Right? And he's a good salesman. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, this is not.
Yeah, I worked for a guy that it was just like the shit that came out of his mouth was like, how in the hell are you still employed?
Right.
But,
we have a couple.
He hit his numbers.
And honestly, I'm getting there, because I'm getting to the point where if I see something dumb, I used the R word the other day at work, like loud. Because I was...
You ableist.
I was mad. So, anyway. Obi-Wan Wednesdays. Do you guys know what this is?
No.
So they release new products on Wednesdays. I announced this several weeks ago. We were going to look at it.
Can't wait for Leia's droid toy to come out.
Yeah, exactly. It is already out.
Oh, is it?
It's going to be. But look at this. Here's the latest one. Do you want this figure? Or do you want?
I'll wait for it to be on clearance, and I want to send a bunch to Ethan Van Sciver to cut in half.
I'd rather
That's what, like, everybody wait till they're on clearance, and then just send a shit ton of them to Ethan, his P.O. box, and we'll have a repeat of the Rostico dolls.
Yeah,
That's all that's good for.
Yeah, I would rather just go find collectibles that were pre-Disney and add them to my collection, honestly. So, yeah.
Yeah.
What
All right,
what are they? Are they figurines or what?
Yeah, so week 1, we've got the...
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Yeah, the Reva Funko Pop here.
Oh, boy. Oh,
that
no.
looks textured. Look at that. The hair looks textured.
Wasn't it braided back? Like, didn't she have the cornrow braids type thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
she did.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this...
Like
again, like, I didn't even know these were out until, like, an hour before the stream started, because I'm like, oh, yeah, Obi-Wan Wednesdays. I promised everyone we'd talk about it. Well, I hadn't even seen what she had said and all this stuff, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, this makes perfect sense, because this stuff comes out, no one buys it. Oh, it's because of racism, not because the character sucks.
Yeah, and we'll get articles, for months about, how toxic the fan base is and all that other stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Here's what she looks like. This is what she looks like, okay? Forget the uniform. Replace the outfit with, like, some baggy pants. The boots can stay the same. And then, like, a sweatshirt. Like, I don't care what it is. Like a FUBU sweatshirt. And she looks like the girlfriend of a character played by Queen Latifah that happens to be a lesbian character in some random, like, urban movie. That's what she looks like to me.
Yeah, like a skinny Queen Latifah.
Yes.
There we go.
In fact, I think we can find that movie out there somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what she reminds me of. Yeah. Oh, man. Just awful. Let's see what else
so what is it with these characters and these Inquisitors and these understudies of, like, Emperor and Vader's, where they are all dressed like Vader some way, somehow, and to have some kind of, like, light on their torso or on their side, what have you? Why are they all dressed like Vader?
Yeah. That's what I was saying earlier about Inquisitors, and Greg and I can fight, but the ones that were in the EU were not, like, in these Imperial uniforms landing in a shuttle in the middle of a street and all this shit. It just didn't work that way. They wanted to have...
secretive. They were very secretive. They blended in with their environment.
And not all were force sensitive. So
correct. Yeah, correct. And they only came about to be hunters of Jedi in the Dark Times during the Purge to help out Vader. However, Vader did still go after significant Jedi and stuff, and that even would be an Obi-Wan Kenobi if he knew about it, more so than the Inquisitors.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what the hell this is. You know what this looks like? Do you guys remember a cartoon in the 80s called... Well, it's funny. Do you remember a cartoon in the 80s called Jason the Wheeled Warriors?
Oh, okay. Yes, I remember that.
They had, like, white, like, vehicles, and they were fighting, like, these plant organic-based people, technology.
Yeah.
Well, the toys sucked. They were tiny, and the figures didn't even have any detail. Like, look, Obi-Wan doesn't even have a face here.
Yeah.
That's what this looks like. Like, Micro Galaxy Squadron. Okay.
A2 or whatever, or R2 or whatever this astromech is name. Is it A2 or something? I don't remember, but
R4.
He looks very detailed. R4. I don't know why I'm thinking 2, probably because R2D2. But yeah, he looks more fleshed out than Obi-Wan. He has more character than Obi-Wan in this.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so bad.
But that's the thing, like, Micro Series failed in the 80s from Kenner. It failed.
Yes.
Like, no one wanted it, so what are they doing, trying to make affordable toys? What this looks like, guys, is not even Dollar General. It looks like Dollar Tree.
Oh, yeah.
That's what this looks like. Everything is $1, but actually everything isn't $1 now. They've increased prices. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but some stuff is like $1.25, $1.50 now. So
Yeah.
thanks, Joe Biden. Then you've got Legos, of course, par for the course.
Did you see that? Did you see that Lego one for Slave One? That wasn't Lego.
No,
it wasn't Lego. It was something else. But I guess they were remarketing Slave or Boba Fett's starship, and of course, Slave One's it's not labeled as it's supposed to be with Slave One. I shared it a couple of days ago, I think, but it wasn't Lego.
Okay, hold on. Let me look here. This is important because when we do meme review, we're going to talk about that. It was on your page or in your community?
I might have shared it on I remember sharing it. I've been this whole week because I had a big, huge celebration in my family last night. So I've been busy.
Not a Shillebration, right?
Not a Shillebration, no way. But I did share it, and I think you might have commented, or someone might have commented about saying, "Oh yeah, they, so much for them saying it was only the Lego company that was going to change the name, or something like that." So that's what I remember.
Just a few days ago.
Within a week, I think.
Oh shit! You have so many posts that we'll never find it. But
I know.
We'll find it later, but we're not surprised because, the name has changed and they will not say the words. Even though, that makes sense now because that article, the one from which one of those articles I read said that Obi-Wan is a Jedi trainer, not a Jedi master, because my point in my Slave One video almost a year ago was that you can't use the word master either, right? Because a master implies a slave. So maybe trainer is the new politically correct term. You're a Jedi trainer. The Trainer Council. The Jedi Trainer Council.
That sounds so awkward.
Anyway, what is this? Is this a Funko Pop? No, it's a manipulator plush.
What?
That doesn't sound very good.
Yeah, you could squeeze them in any which way you want to and anywhere you want to. And yeah, there you go.
You squeeze it and then he starts vibrating. And then this helmet is a perfect...
and he starts breathing heavy.
And here's what's sad. It's actually made for males and not females. So...
Oh, boy. We just went there so quick.
But that's Obi-Wan Wednesdays. They're going to do this every Wednesday. So we'll look at the products. But guys, let me give you the link here because you may want to go out there and find your Reva. What is this? A Black Series?
That's so... You're going to find Reva in the Black Series.
Or Funko Pop. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Greg, are you still there?
Yeah, Greg, are you there?
I am here.
He just listened to me. He's like, "Oh my god, what's up with these two over here?"
I missed my opportunity to comment about the Vader dildo.
I found an old meme that talks about a Vader dildo, and it was Leia in the meme. I'll have to find that one. It's a funny one.
No, those things do exist. They do exist.
It said something like "feel the force" or something like that.
Oh no.
They do exist. Though I'm sorry. Yeah, they do.
And don't forget what color is
because
Vader's
the force,
saber.
Penetrates you.
Yeah. So and you could find dildos in different colors of sabers, the red, green, and blue, particularly. Yep. So you'll be slaying. You'll be slaying for her pleasure. There you go.
Oh, here's
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna get so silly about master and apprentice type of relationships, then then Dark Times certainly is as problematic as the word master is.
Yeah, but this Dark Times thing, so Alora had a thread going on, and somehow they said, "Oh, Dark Times," talking about the times between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. and she's going on with this person, and I'm like, oh, it's simple. I hit reply. They're talking about Reva. And then the guy, who was that? Darth Nihilus or someone's like, huh? I don't understand. It's like, if you have to explain it, it's not funny.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you just missed that one by a mile.
Yeah. And I literally came up with that on the fly. I think I was on my phone, and I just was, for a few seconds, what's on Twitter? Oh, hey, they're talking about Reva. Send, close my phone. So
yeah, I'm done. It's over.
Because I closed my phone. Have I ever shown that to you guys? It's a flip phone, like Kurt.
Yeah. You're so proud of that thing, aren't you?
Well, now I have a cover for it that cost $11, and someone at work told me it looks like a transformer.
Oh. Okay.
Pretty cool. So awesome. It's a good phone. I've gotten used to it. I don't even know what we're talking about. Oh yeah, Obi-Wan Wednesdays. Yeah, this shit will be coming out, new products per Disney's Star Wars every Wednesday. So we'll be reviewing them, making fun of them, and comparing them to dildos every single week. Let's see. Got rid of that. And then there's something else coming out. I saw on that one guy's page that had the clips of Justina Ireland. Check this out. You want to get one of these, Greg?
What the fuck is that?
It's BB Proud.
So that's like when they had the R2 painted all in rainbow last year. I think it's last year or the year before. Yeah. Now it's BB. BB Proud. So like someone's stuttering, like they need to go and have their speech corrected. Be proud.
Well, yeah, I mean that's just, that's DJ from The Last Jedi.
Yeah. Dude, until you said that, I totally forgot that he did that. Thanks a lot.
Oh, and that was terrible too. And like he's a good actor, Benicio del Toro, but
I've never seen him in anything. Oh yeah, I have.
Oh,
I've seen what's it called? The one movie that anyone would know him for. What's it called? With Johnny Depp.
Blow?
Oh,
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Fear and Loathing, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Yeah. He's good in that. I'd advise you, as your lawyer, to take 2 of these.
But his character was ridiculous. The stuttering, I was like, why add that to the character? Like, what the hell?
Yeah. That was
just really weird. But yeah, hey, we're coming up on June, so you got to get up the rainbow bullshit.
Yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you.
What's so sad is like, okay, so I grew up I used to love like Rainbow Bright, and that was just all about like, it had nothing to do with this and stuff. And I get that, people are proud of what they do, their orientation or whatever. But now it's like, I can't even look back at that memory of like in one of my favorite things, Rainbow Bright back in the day, and not think about that, so it really changed the concept of that. And it really takes the innocence out of it, Yeah. So I don't know. It's just, we're in odd times. I'm just like, I'm not shocked anymore or anything like that, but still, I could still cringe and be like, what the hell is going on here still? It's like, are we still further sinking down into this, like this abyss? Like when is the human race going to go ahead and just, go extinct or restart or something? Because it feels like that's what we're headed to, because we're not we're coming to a point where the reproduction part of the human race is going to be extinct, because people are all going to be, trying to bone each other of the same sex and not be able to have kids. I'm just going there. Honestly, I am. So I think about that shit. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
That's actually already been studied. Like Dale knows a lot about that. Deadwood Dale does. But I read a book about 15 years ago called America Alone, and it's all about statistics when it comes to demographics. And Europe is already done for. Like their birth rate is already too low to maintain their population. So that's why they're allowing so much immigration, just to have the labor force and stuff. And what is that? What happens when you do that? It changes your entire culture and stuff. So anyway, yeah.
Yeah, sorry to work hard. So the Sentinel goes, oh my gosh. OMG.
Paul Rubens. What brought up Paul Rubens, aka Pee Wee Herman? Oh, is he in that movie Blow? I've never seen
I
it.
don't remember.
It's been so long since I've seen that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen Mystery Men?
Yes.
You like it? It's fun.
I liked it, but I don't think that's one that I would go out of my way to watch again. It was kind of just like it was clever and funny, but
I watched it once and I never revisited it again. So, I might have to go back and watch it again to give a full, build my opinion on it a little bit more. But usually when I don't return to a movie, that kind of tells you something. It's like, it's not worth returning to. I don't know. But again, sometimes it just happens that way where I just don't watch it again. And then I remember, oh crap, I like this movie. Why didn't I watch it anymore? So,
Yeah. I see Fox talking about, EVS's P.O. Box. One night I was sitting here working on videos and I'm like, okay, he's live. Let me watch and see what he's talking about. And he's like, and some guy was in the chat and he's like, oh, and by the way, he's like, never come to my house. This guy in the chat came to my house and the doorbell rang and I opened it and he's there and he's like, hi, Ethan, I'm so-and-so. And I'm like, what are you doing at my house?
Oh my God.
He's like, we're friends. But that doesn't mean you can come to my house. It was just freaking hilarious.
Yeah, that's like, man, recognize some, boundaries. Jesus.
Golly. Yeah. I'll tell you what, if any of you ever show up to mine, like, I'm going to go get my shotgun. So, yeah.
Yeah, because it's
not
just,
cool.
That's, boundaries, man. I just like his whole thing, like, love him or hate him, like, whatever, but his whole thing with the Rose Tico thing and the cutting it, like how massively people spurred out about that.
Oh God, that was hilarious.
On the other side, it was just just pure freaking genius.
Yeah.
Like it was just so funny because they had a conniption fit.
Right.
Like he sawed the actress in half or something.
Yeah.
It's a joke, man. Like, holy Christ.
I just want to say something. Like, I'm really depressed that all these Australian guys have never gotten together. Like, you don't even have to do a video. Like, I want to see a selfie somewhere of you guys.
Yeah,
you can't go anywhere. That's right.
They're stuck in their states or whatever.
Oh, they're not locked down like that anymore.
In their homes.
No, but seriously,
not until the monkeypox gets them.
Yeah, it's a big country. Well, it will get them if they get together. But it's a big country. But like, good grief, guys! Like, you could meet somewhere in the middle, an equidistant city or something, and take a selfie and show the fans what they want to see. I mean, come on.
He's like, I beg of you.
Like, or you guys could pool your money and buy a house and get a ping pong table.
He says a long trek between us. Oh my God.
We have ping pong tables at work.
Oh,
really?
They still exist. No.
Wow, who plays ping pong?
Pretty much everyone but me and 5 other people that are serious about their work. But
yeah.
Jesus.
All right, let's look at this really quick here. Maybe not really quick. This is the Force.net's breakdown of day 1. So have you heard anything before I start scrolling? Have you heard any big announcements or?
Just like the trailers and stuff that they dropped and nothing that impressed me.
Oh, really? What? You didn't hear about this then?
Oh, skeleton.
I saw something about it.
Oh my God. I tried to ignore that. I was going to share with you guys when I first seen it. And I was like, what the hell is this going to be about? Who is really going to want to watch something like this? Really?
Yeah. And you know what the code name for it was, right?
No.
It was a Simpsons episode name. It was something rodeo. Grammar rodeo.
Grammar word. Oh, no word.
Because I watched Simpsons. I watched the Christmas special in what was that, 1986, and then I watched the first season. Never watched it again, but I guess there's an episode where Bart and his friends steal a car and they take off, and that's essentially what this show is about, like a bunch of kids. So it's going to be what's the Star Trek show, Greg?
It's going to be Prodigy, but in Star Wars.
Prodigy in Star Wars.
Oh God!
Probably the same animators, even some of the same characters. I mean, so and if you note here, if you read the piece, it never talks about whether or not it's animated or like live action.
Oh.
It doesn't tell you. So Jude Law, everyone. I don't know what the hell that is. Oh, come on, guys. You have to have more than that. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the Willow trailer. Did you watch that?
Oh,
Greg,
yes,
being
I
a
did
Willow
watch
fan?
I did
I
watch
didn't-
the trailer.
I didn't watch the Willow trailer.
I don't care.
I remember hearing the rumors about it a while ago, but then I just like dismissed it and never paid attention anymore. And then when I seen this announcement come out, I'm like, oh, okay. So it was true that they're doing the Willow.
The time to do a Willow sequel was
A
late
long
90s.
Yeah.
Like, you know, where you could have had Val Kilmer come back and play a meaningful role as Mad Mardigan. He's
Not now.
because of his,
Yeah.
you know, the cancer and all that other stuff. He's not gonna be able to play that guy, and he's probably too old. I'm a huge fan of the Willow movie.
I've never seen it.
Oh
Wow. I liked it too. I really liked the Willow
It's
as
a
well.
fun movie. It's a fantasy adventure. It's got heart. It's not an overly complex fantasy story. It's very much kind of a hero's journey with Willow Ufgard and his adventure. You know, it you know, Ron Howard directed it. It has one of my favorite film scores of all time, another James Horner score. So I really enjoyed it. Like, the idea of revisiting that world, like, there's an appeal there, but like knowing who's running it and then watching the trailer and seeing like how little Willow was featured in it, I was like, oh, come on.
So is it Warwick Davis or?
Yeah, it's Warwick Davis.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, yeah.
And
it says right there. Duh.
I really love that original film.
This looks like Kylo Ren right here, just like with like a brighter blonde hair than black. That's what it looks like. But yeah, and then this here, you've got, I guess Harrison Ford made a surprise appearance. It says shocking appearance because it is shocking. That guy probably didn't even want to be there, you know.
That guy is such a grouch.
He is. Did you hear about that, Greg?
That he was there?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's only there because he lives in the area.
Yeah.
Because it's in LA.
It's like
he would have never gone across the country to one.
Callista wanted to go shopping, so I told him I'd swing by. I mean,
Well, I'm only gonna go because I want to talk about Indiana Jones.
yeah.
That's the only reason. It has nothing to do with
Solo questions.
It's the fact that Indiana Jones is something that they're promoting at this thing. That's the only reason he's going. It's not anything related to Han Solo.
Right.
It's a plug for Indy.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I have I never saw 4. Still haven't seen it.
It's pretty skippable, so yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And I have I'm not going to see this. It's a Disney production, so not going to see it. Don't care.
That's another one where it's
no
just
interest in it.
God, there's as much as it might be fun to revisit something you love from the past. It's just like 3 ended the story of Indiana Jones really well. Rides off into the sunset with his dad.
Oh, perfect.
And, you know, I mean, it was just, that movie was really good. And it's like, oh, I really love Indiana Jones. I hope they make another one. And it's like, you guys understand, like, when they keep doing these things, the last one's going to suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Like,
very rare
like,
that the last
you just
one is good.
don't need to see more of everything. Sometimes just let it be.
Yeah, me and a buddy of mine have been saying that for almost 20 years, that 3 was the perfect ending. Didn't even like the TV show, to be quite frank. So,
Yeah, I never watched
you guys
the TV
ever
show.
watch? Yeah, it wasn't.
Young,
it wasn't
young Indiana
good.
Jones.
Yeah.
And,
All that show was, guys, it was a test bed for CGI for the Phantom
Mhm.
Menace, because people don't realize a lot of those cityscapes and all that, it was CGI. So, mhm.
And when I did the HoloNet journal, we did it. That was in a little bit of the PT history I shared that stated about that too. That the young Indiana Jones was, basically test run for the coming prequel trilogy. So yeah.
Mhm.
So
To address what Sentinel says here, I guess Val was in Top Gun Maverick. So here's something I want to compare
very
that to.
limited role.
Okay.
But yeah.
Here's what I want to compare that to. So remember the Alternative Factory, something I haven't made for in a long time, but when I get time, I will. So one of the first things I recommended was The Beast. It was an A&E television show that had about 12, 13 episodes with Patrick Swayze. And it was the last thing he ever did. And it was one of the best things he ever did. Like, amazing fucking performance if you've never seen it. He plays a I don't want to say corrupt, but he's definitely a rule breaker FBI agent with a rookie. And then he has to uncover this plot, and it involves Eastern Europeans, so have fun with that. But yeah, watch The Beast, 13 episodes long. Doesn't really end on a cliffhanger. It ends on, hey, we have something to move into another season, but it has a pretty satisfying ending. But yeah, if you like Patrick Swayze, then watch The Beast. It's available.
I wouldn't say
out
I
there.
dislike him. I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of him, but I like some of his stuff.
Did you like Roadhouse?
Yes, for all of
I was
it.
going to say Dead to Me.
I wouldn't
Didn't.
say that Roadhouse is a good movie, but I enjoy the movie. It in all of its 80s glory,
Did I tell you guys that the villain followed me on Twitter? He's also on Babylon 5.
The older guy, or the young guy that gets his throat removed?
Hang on, let me check. Give me 1 second.
Because the main bad guy was just the evil rich guy who was running a protection racket in town.
Hang on. Because you know me and names, I am not good with names. I almost forgot Patrick Swayze's name, and luckily, right before I said his name, it popped into my head, because that would have been pretty embarrassing. Hold on.
Pain don't hurt none.
Hold on.
I like, what's his name in that? Chris Christopherson.
Let's do this.
Or no.
Roadhouse.
It wasn't Chris Christopherson. It was
villain.
I always get him mixed up. The other guy, not Chris Christopherson. The guy who played his mentor character in Roadhouse. What's that guy's name?
Marshall Teague. Yeah, he was the younger one, the one that did the actual physical stuff. Yeah, Marshall Teague followed me. I think I tagged him in something a year ago, and he probably hadn't logged in that long, and then suddenly I'm followed by Marshall Teague. So, yeah, wow. Sam Elliott. You were talking about Sam Elliott. So I
love Sam Elliott. In that movie, his character in that movie was fucking awesome. He's just this fucking. I mean, it was just nobody could play that role but Sam Elliott. You can't just you can't picture anybody. You're just this kind of grizzled, don't give no fucks kind of guy.
You should watch The Ranch.
Man, I would love to hang out with that character in that movie.
Yeah. But Sam Elliott, even in Tombstone, he still had that. He has that persona, and I think he does embed his characters fairly well.
Oh, I really do like Sam Elliott. In almost everything he's in, it's
There's a line
he got in a little trouble recently because he said some not PC things.
Yeah. Well, it's not even not PC; it's not leftist things. But he in The Ranch, there was this line where the brother he says it's just him and Sam Elliott, because Ashton Kutcher's character was mad at Sam Elliott's character, the father, and he had left or something, and the other brother's like, You want to watch something on Netflix? And then Sam Elliott's character is like, the fuck is Netflix? And it was a Netflix show. That's why it was so funny. And then the brother's like, never mind.
So on the nose, but it was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like, I mean, could you imagine like just being able to like sit down with him and just have like a, you know, throw down a couple brews and a few shots and just get him talking about Hollywood and shit like that. Just the actor. I mean, that would be a fascinating guy to get to know. That'd be one of my that would be one of my top picks for like actors I just kind of want to shoot the shit with.
Mm-hmm.
What does this mean? I'm putting it in my stuff now.
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe he's talking about that Vader toy.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe from the toys we're
Just
talking
kidding,
about.
Just kidding.
Squeeze it and make it hear the breathing too.
All right, it's time, guys. Like, well, hold on. Let's back up a minute. It's not time. Did you hear me talking about Leslye Headland and the race baiting thing? Did you have anything to say on that?
Not that I recall.
I was, I heard a little bit of it. Yeah. God, I don't know. I mean, it's the same old stuff that they all say in one shape, way, or form, whatever. And it's just tiring. This is the state of Lucasfilm right now because they're a corporate. That's all it is. Go ahead, go. No, go. You.
I was just gonna say, just off the top, it's a shield now.
Right.
They've been using this shield since 2016 with Ghostbusters. It's a common thing. You're gonna see it with everything now. Is just like they're going. That's their shield from legitimate criticism. It's just the race baiting thing. Is that that's why you don't like it? Like say, oh, you didn't like The Force Awakens because Rey's a chick and.
Right.
You just go down the line. You didn't like Ghostbusters 2016 because it was a female cast.
Gender baiting, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but it's the same. It all comes from the same place, and it's the same tactic.
Yeah.
And it's honestly, it's been around for much longer than that. But I mean, they really started weaponizing it, I think, with 2016.
Yeah, it's more polarized now. And to even say Lucasfilm or Disney, Star Wars, but Star Wars didn't have diversity until now is such. It's like they are very dishonest towards George Lucas because he had diverse cast, he had diverse characters, and to say that it never existed before then, basically that's just like put another slap on his face for that, and it's very disingenuous of them to even make claims like that.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing, it was that IndieWire thing. It was a coordinated effort, to put that out there because I mean, why would she go out there and say that? And then the article was so short too. It was like, okay, let's make our point and then plug the show and the article's over. So it was a coordinated effort to throw that out there to maybe gaslight some fans like, hey, if you do criticize it, we are going to accuse you of this. Like for us, don't give a shit. But there are some people out there that are a little bit more of a bleeding heart that would care, that might otherwise want to criticize it. So number one, that's suspicious. And then for her to straight up say the things she said, where before now there was no diversity, there were no people of color, that's a lie. So the thing is, what happens is when you get these articles out there, just say whatever you want. And then if enough people don't fact check it or don't believe the people that are commenting saying that is a lie, and then you just cast them as racist, then suddenly after a few months, after a few years, it becomes the truth. Just like the Kelly Marie Tran stuff, just like the Ahmed Best stuff. So they know what they're doing. It's all a coordinated effort. Right. And all the stuff that KK has said, and I'll just come out and say it right now, guys. And by the way, Silvar Ogre is in the house. I'll just come out and say it. Hashtag Mike Zero was wrong. Hashtag Doomcock was wrong, because they've all confirmed this week, literally this week and partly last week, that they're all together, they're all friends, surprise, and they're all woke, and that's what they're producing. So whatever.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah. No. Yeah, they're all on the same page, and that makes having a
You're not going to be in the company
a
if you're
little bit
not.
difficult. Yeah.
You're sorry about that. You're not going to work for a subsidiary, whatever the hell Lucasfilm's called, of Disney, unless you're on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would never survive in a company like that. I probably get hired for my diversity and they get fired real quick because I don't.
You should try it. They always have those job postings out there. It's
Just
like,
kind
give
of
us a link to
pretend
your social media. Okay, here it is. You're
Yeah.
not hired.
Oh boy, yeah. I would go in there undercover, and just pretend as if I'm towing the line for them and whatever, and get behind there and see what their training is all about and report it back, in an alias name or whatever. I could be your guys' source, so you could say my source said.
Well, if they lead you into a room with a black couch, then turn away and run as fast as you can. That's
Exactly. Run for your life. Run, Forrest. Run.
Yeah, just like I can't remember the character's name in Space Conflict. Not the real name, but the name for the character. I can't remember what I called her. Amy Gonzalez. Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
Yeah, not the real person's name, because nothing in this production. What's the term, Greg? Is meant to represent a person, real or imagined, or whatever.
Oh yeah, the little disclaimer at the end of a movie or TV show. Yeah,
it's just a coincidence.
All the characters. It's merely coincidental. It's not meant to betray anybody. Yeah.
Yes. All right, I think it's time. If you don't have anything else on that, they're all full of shit. And Leslye Headland's show is probably going to be the worst of the worst, because we know it's her. Let's do this. That's badass.
Right on.
Made it in 10 minutes. How about that?
You did that?
I did that, yeah.
Awesome. I love it.
The first one we're going to look at, guys, is Alora's from today. I would, you know what I'd like to say? I'd like to think that I inspired you to start making these. Is that the case?
Well, I do enjoy yours, but this, when I was thinking about the leaks and all of that, I was like, then this scene with Anakin and Luke just popped to my head. So maybe there was some inspiration there, but then also too, just by the scene here from Anakin and Luke, that was like, oh, that conversation. Okay. Yeah. So it's like, bam, and like, there we go. Okay. And, I was like, at first when I was making it, because I knew who Luke was going to be, EU fans, but then I was like, well, who is Anakin/Vader going to be? And I'm like, oh, perfect. E3, episode 3 and episode 4, because, he's Anakin, or he's Vader, and then he's Anakin, and stuff. So I thought that was perfect, because the lore between that's getting messed up. So,
yep. You were right.
Yep.
Man, I love the ones that are edgy and potentially trigger people. Those are the ones I like. So that was awesome.
Well, I think when they redo episode 4 or episode 6, they're gonna change that line and be like, tell everyone that Leia's the best.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think this isn't my last one for the week. It's the penultimate one for the week, but this is Kenny Omega, who at the time had the AAA championship, the AEW championship, the Impact championship, and the TNA championship, all world championships in those promotions. And the Impact and TNA one were actually the same title, but they hadn't combined the belts yet. And like these two right here, that's why they're similar. See, the meme makes sense, because Impact Belt and TNA Belt really the same championship. So that's why one involves Slave One and one involves Mandoverse. I thought this through. But yeah, these are all true. Like, we were right on Obi-Wan show breaking lore. We are right on Mandoverse not retconning Disney trilogy.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was a stupid
oh
nonsense
man,
one that people
go
were
back
saying.
and delete those videos, people. Let's see. Right on Slave One name not being uttered on Book of Boba Fett, because remember that one account that uses Zack Snyder as like an avatar? They're gonna say it, and when they do, I'm gonna come back and call you out on it. Where you at, bitch? Where you at?
Where's you at, bitch? Come on now, bitch.
I gotta go find my fire spray. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But that's not the point. The point is that motherfucker told us that they would say Slave One, and they didn't, because the name is being phased out. Not only that, but the data bank, whatever the hell they call it, it is not the record, because it also shows that the final duel before A New Hope was in Revenge of the Sith, right? So the data bank is not reliable anymore.
Right.
So they just haven't updated the Slave One entry. And then lastly, and this was a huge win, and it's not a win for me, it's a win for all of us, when literally we made Disney Lucasfilm correct an article, and then that girl apologized on Twitter. I think it's a girl. I don't know what she wants to be called. He wants to be called. It wants to be called. I don't know the pronouns wants to be called, because they didn't say, hey, Dave Wolverton just passed away a few days ago, and we totally didn't put this coincidental article on Night Sisters out just to capitalize on the algorithm. Yeah, right. So I like making that meme. I saw someone actually make this about a bunch of conspiracy theories about being right on them. So I'm like, oh, I can use that. Let's see. Ooh, I never published that one, and I better not.
Is it the one that you showed me? You were like saying,
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe someday. I'll show it to Greg later.
Yeah, I'm an instigator, and I was like, I wonder. I was just like, want to see the shit go down.
Yes. This one actually blew up.
Yeah, literally, like, it blew up.
Yeah.
Pun intended, maybe? Pun intended,
my pillow
maybe?
fell off. I laughed so hard. So obviously opening of Attack of the Clones, and you've got Typho. Was that his name? Captain Typho?
Yeah, I've always understood Typho.
So.
Star Wars fans in denial leading up to Obi-Wan series. I guess I was wrong. There was no danger at all. And then the series is the ship, and then boom! Continuity, lore, avoiding nostalgia bait. The next day, or later that day, the Reva thing comes out. Moses story comes out, and I'm like, damn, I could have put race baiting as well. So I missed that one.
But it still gets to the point right there, and you can always update it later, because there's probably going to be more shit to come out.
Yeah, that's true. I don't want to do all mine. There was that one I put on Twitter a few days ago that was, I'm telling you, that Natasi Dalla's commandeered memes page on Facebook.
Yes, I went there.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably 70-30, hit or miss, but the ones that are hit, I really enjoy. Where the hell is that one? Yeah, here it is. Because, and this, it's very topical, because I've talked about how many times I've been called a neckbeard. They're the ones.
You too?
Yeah, you have as well, and it's insane, but they're the real ones.
Oh my god,
they say
so gross. Oh.
Yeah. The MFs who say Yuzan Vong were too Trekkie but never actually read the new Jedi Order. Oh man. That's exactly right. People that don't even know the EU trying to criticize it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many shit arguments out there. It's insane.
There is. And I don't know why. And Soul Assassin's like, how do you attract these weird people, like these guys, these people? I'm like, I don't know. It's like, they just come my way, and then I end up getting blocked by them. But hey, that's okay.
Yeah, there's just some DM group behind the scenes.
Oh yeah.
Just
I mute them because
or whatever.
Yeah, if you ever see ones that I don't reply to, it's because I've muted them because they
Yeah.
creep me out, to be quite frank, and
Yeah.
it's probably for their safety more than anything.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good one. Last one for now. This is one of mine that didn't get a lot of traction because people probably didn't really spend the time reading the context of it. But here you have a Christina Ariel tweet.
Yeah.
Demand diversity. Don't just talk about it. And then she replies to herself, and you don't get kudos for having one black person for every 6 white people. Fill more seats. And then here's the cast of Disney trilogy right here.
Yeah.
And, take out KK, JJ. Who the hell is that?
I don't even know.
Me neither. But
Is that the sound?
1,
Burr,
2,
whatever?
3, 4, 5, 6, and then you've got a Hispanic guy and a black guy. So congratulations, Christina. You just criticized your own employer.
Right.
Good job.
Exactly.
Oh, did you see Deadwood Dale's 4 Horsemen meme?
Yes. I don't even recognize the one that was in the bottom right corner though.
I'll show you. Hold on. I laughed so hard this morning. I woke up, got my coffee, came in here, logged in, and I saw that, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I don't know if he just came up with that on the fly. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on. You guys will love this.
Okay.
Oh, that was Kasdan? Okay.
Oh, was it Lawrence Kasdan? Okay. Come on, Dale. Where are you at? Oh, you know what? I retweeted it, so I can go to mine. Here it is.
He posts a lot of hot takes and it's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. I'm gonna have to. Now that he doesn't really have a channel, I'm gonna have to screenshot it because you know how Twitter is. I got to show all your personal information on the sidebar, guys. It's the 4 horsemen of the false equivalency. So you've got Rob Reiner, George Takei, Mark Hamill, and Stephen King. Which one didn't you recognize?
Well, that's Mark Hamill in the corner. Bottom
It
right?
is Mark Hamill.
That's him.
Wow.
Yeah, that's Mark Hamill.
The 4 horsemen of the false.
I mean, it's good. You ain't fucking meathead.
I'm telling you what, man. All 4 of them absolutely do have dog shit political takes. I mean, just dog shit.
They're pretty awful.
And for Takei to come out and say he's a libertarian at one point, well, I just said come out. But yeah, he's not a libertarian. I'm sorry.
Look, you cannot endorse redistributive policy and call yourself a libertarian.
Negative.
You cannot. Those two cannot coexist.
You need to find a way to get around that ban, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, there's that one. I want to show you guys something really quick here. Let me go to my comments. And let me see if there's anything not okay to show here. Actually, let's go to YouTube. I'm going to put it on Brave where I'm not logged in. Some of those comments on the Inquisitor, the annoying music video, Greg. I got some in the last day, and it's like they don't even get it. What's that?
That's still catching traction there. People are still commenting on stuff on that one.
Yeah, because I think it took off in the last day or so because of, let's see, newest first. Here we go. I can share this.
Okay.
It's just, hey, I got a question for you really quick. Do you need to put a battery in your smoke alarm?
Yeah, we have one up in the attic that we tried to do, and I think there's something wrong with the wire.
You want me to tell you how to fix that?
Okay.
Get like one of those really heavy sledgehammers, and then like go like this and swing it like Thor the
And hit
Warrior.
it.
And yeah.
Take some of my aggression out from Disney Star Wars.
Exactly. So you've got this. I don't know how many cries I got over the last several months. Cry.
They always say that.
I know.
Cry or cry harder.
But here's the thing. They're the ones crying by commenting because the thing that they like is being criticized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then get this, Greg. Can you confirm this? They fixed him. Relax. Did they fix him?
I can't read. But I mean,
they fixed him. Relax.
The Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah.
He still looked the same to me.
Yeah, they killed him. He's fixed now. He's dead. He doesn't exist. That's the only way to fix these Inquisitors because they're just awful.
Yes.
He's like, I love Inquisitors being fixed like that, killed, because I know you don't like them. You don't like them.
They're awful, and there's no good aspect of them.
Yeah.
Their lines are awful. The acting is terrible. The costume is terrible. The design is terrible. Like, there is literally no redeeming value in any of them. They all suck.
Isn't Filoni the one that changed the Inquisitors into them being like uniformed and stuff?
Yeah, for Rebels and Clone Wars or whatever. I think. Or probably Rebels.
Yeah, Rebels, I think.
Yeah, like the idea of having this group of kind of like assembled mercenaries that hunt Jedi, I'm fine with. Like, as far as like the Inquisitor thing goes, and you mentioned it earlier. We have a bit of a disagreement as far as like, but the idea of having them all be like these fallen Jedi that run around and they're basically like Sith without the labels. I don't like that.
They're Vader cosplayers. That's all they want to be.
But they're not Sith though, because
they're not.
But they're being shown to have like all the abilities anyway. So they're literally just not. They're everything about them except for the name.
Yeah.
I mean, they're even aligned with the actual Sith people. Like, so like, I get the idea of like having like a dark Jedi or like, dark side of the Force users that are unaligned or unaffiliated with either the Jedi or the Sith. Like, I'm okay with that concept, but they're aligned even. It's just literally you're just going, well, we're not going to call them a Sith. We're not going to put the word Darth in front of their name, so it's okay.
Well, and don't forget that Disney Star Wars undid the rule of two and all that shit. So
right, but they're still trying to flirt and dance around it, and it's just like, if you're gonna abandon the whole rule of two thing, then just abandon it, I guess.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing.
This dancing around, like just literally not putting the word Darth in front of their name, like doesn't change the fact that they're essentially they have a master. They serve Vader. They have all the abilities, including Force mind grape.
Yeah,
which is something this dumb bitch does.
Oh, I heard about that, and then the question was, why didn't she just do that to Owen? Yeah,
which is a pretty logical question. Like, boy, that's a pretty useful skill if you're trying to extract information. Maybe you don't have to threaten to cut ladies' hands off. You could just steal the information from their heads.
Is it the same writer? Is it the same writer for all these series, or do they change writers like they did in Mandalorian? For
I don't know. Mandalorian, the almost everything. The person that gets the primary writing credit for Mando and Fett was Favreau. I don't know who's credited for like the main story in this thing. But whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, the concept of the Inquisitors, there's nothing right about them.
No.
Yeah.
I don't understand this comment. Disney created the Grand Inquisitor. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. I didn't know that. Duh. What is with the shitty ending? Don't know what you're talking about. You talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi? Yeah, you probably are. So, get this one. Are you going to take this down considering you're wrong?
What are you
wrong
about?
No, I'm not going to take it down. What am I wrong about, you stupid bitch?
Right.
Gosh.
They never corrected his. I mean, people claim that his features, his head features, were corrected. since he was first shared, through the trailers and stuff like that, and through the images that
No.
Lucasfilm brought of him. But he wasn't. He wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He's still got a roundish, flattish head. Like there's no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has like almost like a double chin too, I noticed, or something like that. It looks weird.
They just look like shit. Like who looks at that and goes, "Great design"?
Yeah.
Like I don't care what they look like in the cartoon. Like if when you get to the live action and it just doesn't fucking work and looks silly, then you just gotta abandon it and go. Well, right, that they had a uniform change at some point. Like, who cares?
Look at this right here. You see that poster? Probably can't see it very well. X-Men.
No.
What if in the first X-Men movie? And I think
They were
Wolverine
wearing the
even,
bright spandex. Yeah, that
yeah,
would
I think he
work.
made that
People would've said
comment
it
like
looked silly.
Yeah, he even made that comment in the movie. It's like a tongue-in-cheek type thing, you know. It wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, when they're heading to to the island or whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, Trevor Copter. Okay. Yeah, except that isn't the Grand Inquisitor in Revenge of the Sith, no question mark, you dumbass, declaring anything real Star Wars when you don't even know your basic lore says more about you than whatever point you want to make
It's
about
a defining
Disney. Yeah.
feature of the race, you cock.
Yeah, I don't know anything about basic lore. I'm looking in the camera with my hand up. I don't know anything about basic Star Wars lore. Me, Tim, from Open-Airlock Policy. I mean,
It'd be
what
like
the
having
hell?
a Twi'lek and without the tendrils.
Yeah. Bunch of dumbasses. They couldn't cast a skinny guy. Here's someone agreeing with me. Not that interesting. Here's your alt account, Greg. What the fuck is this atrocious noises in the background of this BS? Screw this video. It was on purpose. That's the whole point.
That's hard on that one, baby. I think that's the first thing I said to you. I'd be like, "What was that music? That was horrible."
It was a Wondershare special, free. So, yeah,
It reminds
but
me of that damn. God, what's his name? Jeremy Renner House episode. Jeremy Renner's in an episode of House where there's this musician that's sick or whatever, and he just plays like noise, and that reminds me of that.
You just really triggered Greg on that one, didn't you?
We're gonna play it before it's all said and done.
Awesome.
God of Evil says, yeah, but the Grand Inquisitor didn't even have that style of teeth on the Rebels TV show. That's wrong too, dumbass. Jeez.
Wow.
Zora Catone. Love how all these fools are calling it Disney Star Wars when he originated from a Disney show. What is he? You mean a Disney show that's not Star Wars?
Like, how is that an own?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's not
agree.
an
He doesn't
own.
look right, but the whining here is just amusing at this point. It isn't whining. It was a really annoying video showing the difference between what the species should look like and what Obi-Wan Kenobi has him looking like. You dumbass. Gosh, these people. And I don't know how many in the past several months have said, it's not the same character. Really? I didn't know that. The guy that Obi-Wan lands and talks to is not the guy that's trying to kill him in a show 10 years later? Wow, I didn't know that. Jeez.
They really think they're owning you on that when you're comparing the species and what they're supposed to look like, and how George originally created the species to look like in the movie. Come on, people. Get with it.
I don't even remember replying with this, but apparently I did 12 days ago. Random blob guy says, that isn't the Grand Inquisitor. It is his species. But during the Clone Wars, he was a Jedi Temple Guard. I replied with, you are an uncommonly bright one. You get a scratch and sniff sticker.
Dang.
I think it was
think
late
it's
at night
official.
when I did that, so kind of cheesy. Anyway, it goes on and on. What is this editing? So much time wasted over a detail. No, I made that. I literally made that short in about 15 minutes. It
Hmm.
was easy. Anyway, it's reading those comments, guys, and let me tell you if this has ever. Let me ask you if this has ever happened to you. Has anyone you ever gotten a notification and you click on it and they're like, "You are this and that," but then they delete it so you read it in the notification, but it's not there to reply to? Has that
Yep.
ever happened to
Yes.
you?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is for you if you've ever done that to me.
I got that a lot with my lower decks.
Oh,
Mhm.
I bet. I bet.
Yeah.
Star Trek are worse, believe it or not, chat. They're worse
Yeah.
Oh,
than Star Wars weirdos. Star Trek is the worst.
and I don't think it's even close.
What is
Mhm.
this, Greg?
Oh, and we were doing the meme thing. That was one that I saw that I thought I'd share.
Oh, yes. I
Oh,
saw this
wow.
on Melvin's server, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I think it's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
pretty much. Yeah, my craziest comments. Well, mine they write stories to me
Hmm.
sometimes, and the one of the latest ones. Let's chat. Disney Lucasfilm and Associates are dishonest Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and so I did that. I did a video on that, and then I shared some more information about like how the duels, the remake or the rematch still breaks continuity and blah 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 blah, and went into a discussion. It was a live stream and stuff. And I had someone come in, his name was Troy Gunk or whatever. And he wrote me this huge essay about going every which way, but his points were so idiotic. And I shared it on Twitter. I think you commented on it, Tim. But
Oh, I'm
yeah,
sure I did. Yeah.
yeah. And I was like, whoa, okay. Well, then more power to you. I don't know, these people are so weird because the evidence is proven and shown, and they freaking move the goalpost or whatever,
Yeah.
and try to go skirt around it, and then they go into other fallacies, and I'm like, okay, well, you just lost your point you're making after calling me names, but sure, go ahead. Have
Yeah,
fun, have at
they
Hmm.
spend more time on those replies, those comments
it. Mhm,
than we do on making the videos. And then they tell
mhm.
you, I can't believe you spent this much time on that.
Yeah. And
Fuck
then
you.
now he responded back on there, and he wrote me another big old giant essay on there. It's so damn funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're
So,
ugh.
yeah.
And guys, this is why it's important because it's not, the thing that we like is changing and we're old and we're living in the past. I've been told that like 4 times in the last 2 weeks. You're living
Hmm.
in the past, sometimes accompanied by man. You're living in the past, man. Um, Here's the thing, guys. Fighting for this means you're fighting for culture. Because if they can do this with Star Wars and Star Trek and Doctor Who and whatever else, they can do it with culture in general, in sports and whatever it is, with education, with your daily life. It's almost like a gigantic psyop. Let's take our favorite thing and then for the new generation use that favorite thing to basically manipulate them into believing a certain way, aka collectivist ideology. That it all circles back. It's not crazy. That's what they're pushing and all this stuff. Um,
Yeah.
Hey
it,
Tim, I found the audio clip that you used for that video.
what?
Now remind me of your influences here. I'm gonna say Thelonious Monk and the sound a trash compactor makes when you crawl inside it.
What was that?
That was the clip from House.
Wow.
I
That
didn't want to
that's
share the
pretty
video with it, so
close.
yeah.
That's pretty close. Hold on. Let's see if we can find mine really quick. I'm gonna subject you to it before we wrap up
Figured
here.
you would.
But I got to tell you guys one more thing before we wrap up here. Hold on. Got to go back. It's been a while since that thing came out. Like a long while. 100 dude, this week alone I've gotten like 3,000 views. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Nice.
All right. Share audio. Tell me if it's not loud enough, okay?
Ugh.
The chat's dropping. The viewers are dropping.
They're running from this fucking audio.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, if people are, I just made this fun video with this annoying music. If they're the ones that are commenting and protesting, then, you know, the lady doth protest too much. Maybe we're hitting a nerve there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we're touching a nerve because it looks like shit. And I think the people, what that one guy was talking about, they did something with his eyes and it looks like some of the lines on his head, but it looks nothing like the makeup from Revenge of the Sith.
No, it
looks
not.
like a human in cosplay is what it looks like.
Mm-hmm. I agree with
Well,
that.
he looks great when he's dead. Or, well, like, he's probably not dead though, but
Probably.
Oh, he can't be because
died.
Rebels happens later. So
it's just a different one. It was they found another Inquisitor that was Force powerful, promoted him to fifth brother and leader of. Or
they subverted
promoted the Grand
expectations, Greg. That's what they did.
They cloned him.
They cloned him. Yeah, they cloned him. So there's another one there.
I'm glad that happened today in the recap where he died, because just a few weeks ago, Star Wars Explained has updated their canon timeline video because they keep it updated. So I'd like to see them explain that one after this episode came out. And by the way, that stupid ass video, like, they're at Shillebration and they are the worst shills. They're getting all the access and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. Like,
they've worked damn hard being fans over the last 5 years or whatever.
Exactly.
I mean, wasn't that Harloff's thing?
Yeah. I'd have to take a shower like every other hour, if I were them, because I'd feel so dirty being the shill and the ass kisser that I am. But yeah, if you guys get a second, go look at that stupid video and all the canon timeline and all the garbage that they put out. It's a nice place to go see all the stupidity that Disney Star Wars has done. If you look at the Marvel series that they rebooted already, not rebooted, but relaunched, some of those stories are utterly awful. If you think that all these shows are awful, look at some of those Marvel comics that they've done. It's stupid. Star Wars Explained is awful. What does Mohai Master say here? They always find a way to defend Disney Star Wars. He's Dark Lord of the Shills. That one stream he did on Palpa Memes channel was hilarious because Palpa Memes is so cringe. And then what's the guy's name from Explained? Is it like Matt or something like that?
I think it's. I think so.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he kept making these faces at him, and I'm like, man, they're just dicks. Anyway, that's about it. I think we've been going 3 hours. I've been going 3 hours. You guys have been watching and going for a little bit of those 3 hours. So what's coming up? Greg, are you doing Star Trek this weekend?
Yeah, I'm actually going to do
Are
it.
you?
I don't think I'm going to cover the actual episode, not in any sort of detail. I want to go back to this whole thing because they did this hashtag Twitter post that was something like "I stand with Una," and that's the #1 character.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess they're trying to she's a strong and powerful woman, and it's actually if you look at her character in the first couple episodes, that's actually not the case at all. She literally was a damsel in distress in the first episode.
Wow.
Okay.
And I kind of want to break down as to be like if you think this is strong, powerful women writing, you're just not getting it. not strong, not powerful. And then, of course, in like episode 2 or 3 or whatever, they turned her into a fucking an X-Men mutant who has super heal.
I might try
She's
to.
got the heal factor.
Yeah, I might try to pop on for that because I know about that character in the extended universe, which admittedly is not canon, but it's better. I can tell you that much. So sweet. Yeah. So Greg's gonna stream Sunday night, right?
Yep, Sunday night.
Yeah, I might pop on there because I could add some value there.
Absolutely, you of course
Sweet.
are invited.
And Alora, what's coming up for you? I mean, coffee chat, and you got any videos?
All right. So what's coming up is that, I had lost some videos that were in production on my phone after my car accident. So that means I'm starting from scratch on some. But the icon class that I've been working on, now I can add Obi-Wan Kenobi to this because of the series now. So I guess that's a blessing in disguise. That's how I'll see that. So that will be coming out. And then I'm looking at some lore videos I want to share, like put together. I also have, I was looking at my playlist for EU lore, and I was going along and doing Tatooine history. So I think I want to finish that little series too. So stay tuned for that. And the very favorite planet everybody loves, because that's where Disney loves to visit all the time, Tatooine.
Yeah.
But my point is sharing Tatooine lore is the real lore about how it came about, how it became a desert planet, why the Tuscans are, Tuscan Raiders act the way they do, who are the Jawas, and how are they, genetically related to the Tuscan Raiders, and so on and so forth. So I want to go into that further because there's so much that you can explore. It's not a planet that has stupid sand whales that, people go and quote unquote fish for meat, that you were seeing in the Disney lore, which is very, very cringe. And then of course,
the endless whale that it's such an endless supply of meat that you set up like a permanent factory structure around it.
Yeah, and then the meat doesn't spoil from the suns. The meat doesn't spoil from the suns, but yet you can age quick from the sun, so it doesn't make sense.
Well, it dries it out. It actually like turns it into blocks
jerky
of jerky. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So
hopefully there's enough salt. Oh, you can get it from crate, right?
Yeah, there you go. That's you bring in shipments of crate. Tatooine, like if anybody tries to tell you that Disney and the Favreau universe and everything, that they have some grand plan, consider this. They've had 3 shows, and all 3 shows prominently feature one planet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, that's not a good, like, if that's your plan, that's really bad, because Tatooine's really not that exciting of a planet in the first place. But yeah, all 3 shows, Tatooine dominates.
Yeah.
And then, even with Mando, they actually go to Tatooine, and then you have Navarro, which is just lava Tatooine.
Yeah, exactly. And what I loved about the EU and getting into the EU and stuff is, like, when a novel came out, sometimes you got a new planet, or sometimes you just, they didn't repeat the same planet all the time. Yeah, Coruscant was the main, like, capital and stuff, and there's a reason why things happen around that. But other than that, the EU was so expansive and gave us so many different locations, areas, even traveling just in the deep space as well, and how, even like Luke had to go into, a hibernation trance just to, pilot his ship to go across, in hyperspace and stuff for how long it takes and stuff. That's how expansive it was. Now it's all just very shrunk down into something small where it only takes a few seconds to get here and there and everywhere. Mm-hmm. So they really shrunk down the universe. But let's get back to me. No joking. So I do have coffee chat coming up this Thursday here, and we are exploring 4 societies. So we're gonna. I decided that not only will we talk about news and other BS and stuff and fun stuff going on in Star Wars. I am also gonna talk about the 4 societies other than Jedi and Sith, because that's always the topic, Jedi and Sith. So talking about other, like the Fallen Nasi, the 18 monks, all of them. Would be such a great topic to help people expand the horizons when it comes
Don't forget to talk about the Tia.
The Tia? Yeah. So So we're going to be covering that and having a great conversation with that. So you guys stay tuned for that as well. And I did promise about talking EU, but I haven't been able to schedule because of the stuff been going on in my life. It feels like I've been saying that forever, but that's just how life goes.
Yeah.
I will bring back talking EU. I love those interviews. They're so much fun to really explore and pick people's brains about how they got into Star Wars and the EU, and one day maybe I'll have Greg on there.
Oh,
I
by the
like
way,
you.
well, did you reread Dark Force Rising, Greg? Because you were supposed to do the 30th year anniversary on that book with me for expanded university short courses.
Yet, when is that?
Next week. So fuck watching Obi-Wan, Fauxbi-Wan, read the book instead,
Fuck.
and then it's not a long book.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not. And then
it's my favorite of the three.
It's not my first time. It's not my first time going through it. So it'll go fast. But
I like that book more than Heir to the Empire and Last Command, to be honest.
Yeah.
My issue is differentiating like where one book begins and one ends. I think is kind of like what I need a refresher on the most. Because I think once I get like into it, I'll be like, oh yeah, okay, now I remember where we're at and what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Righto. Well, as for me, like today I released I released a short video on Obi-Wan's appearances to Luke in spirit form after Return of the Jedi. It's only about 3 minutes long, but it was too long for a short, so I made an actual video on it. Has some nice pictures and all that stuff, and you can hear my wonderful voice on it. But yeah, it was fun to make and fun to research, so definitely check that out. And I have some more Obi-Wan shorts I'm going to be putting out, trying to catch that algorithm, and maybe catch some of these Disney fans looking for the show stuff, and then they find my shorts and learn about real Obi-Wan. And then over the next couple of months, hopefully not that long, I'm going to be working on a long-form George Lucas video. Because I think there's a lot of misconceptions about him, and we're going to set the record straight. So I can't wait to make that. That's going to be kind of like my canon video. So be on the lookout for that. But that's really about it. I mean, we'll be back, I guess, Sunday night with Greg for a little bit. And then next Friday night, plan on streaming. And then at some point, Matt Wilkins has told me that we will do the Babylon 5 movie stream because he'll make the time. So I'll have to find a date to make that happen. But other than that, guys, thanks for being here. We had a great crowd. Right now, we've got 17 watching, but earlier we had 30. That's fantastic. Lots of rewatches. Feel free to comment, all that stuff. Tell a friend, tell a family member if they like Star Wars. They want to learn about real Star Wars, then swing by and we'll have some fun. That's about it. Greg, Alora, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. Everyone sub to them. Make sure you're sub to me. Join the channel if you want. And with that, I guess we're out of here.
Peace.
C-E-E-E. Yeah.
Roll this one around in your head. Shooting a senior officer is an act of treason and mutiny. The penalty is spacing. They put you in an airlock, seal it, and open the space door. You spend the next 5 minutes chewing vacuum until your lungs turn inside out, your eyeballs freeze, and your heart explodes. It's the worst kind of death you can imagine. And when that day comes, I'll be there to push the button.